Welcome, everybody, to episode 19, I think. I think we're sitting on 19 of Blood and Silver here on Hard Knock Dice. That's getting real close to the end, folks, so thank you for sticking with us through all this so far. Before we get into any kind of recap, if someone could drop an exclamation point charity in chat. As always, for the Hard Knock Dice crew, we are raising money for Extra Life, with Extra Life for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So, as is the habit that I now have to stick to for contract reasons, open your heart wallets, do the right thing, be a good guy. It never hurts to raise a little bit of money for some children in need. So that's the objectively right thing to do, right? Better than being a fantasy hero any day of the week. So give it a click, check it out, try and do some good. But now that we have that out of the way, last time on Blood and Silver, things have well beyond heated up. Our heroes, part of the rebellion, the grandfatherly Apollinaire, the not quite one world, not quite the other Seraphina. Oh, good grief. I hate you all so much in chat. I'm trying to do an intro here. Why y'all gotta do this to me? The enigmatic and yet direct Roderick, one who values her freedom more than anything else for very, very real reasons, Gaia, have invested themselves in this rebellion. And it's reached its climax. There's open fighting in the streets. They have fought their way into the third layer of the city of Griffin, which has been beset by civil war. But they got to make the final push, as in the last section of last session, our Apollinaire made a dealier deal with the devil than he already had, and is now in a 3-day time frame, and he did so to fend off the powerful eldritch being that held Gaia's leash. You guys have remained in the third layer in the hideout, figuring out what to do next. Most of your forces on the other side of a gate to the lower layers, and your target past a gate to the Citadel layer at the very top of Griffin. You've been tired, you've been beat up, you got a little bit of a breather. So what are y'all doing?
Well, I believe we kind of all split up for a moment after the very interesting events at the end of the last episode.
That is definitely one way to describe them, yes.
Yeah, we were all split, so...
Who would like to go first? This is on y'all for at least a few minutes.
We've just been running around with what we have on our person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
7 jesters had fallen, and y'all had gone to a backup safe house.
Gotcha.
Like I said, I think I said, like I had said near the end of the last session, like amidst the clamor and questions and Gaia being upset and Seraphina kind of trying to ask questions as well, Apollinaire stepped outside, and is currently like stepped a little way out of the way of the doorway, and is trying to find some semblance of center in that in what is like that thrust upon merger of both minds and personalities. Is like the what comes from who is just all a jumble, and is just out there, just away from people for the moment at least, just kind of looking out towards the city, listening to what there is to hear and trying to center himself and gain some semblance of control.
So Apollinaire, as you're sitting there and you are trying to center yourself, gain control, this blending of personalities isn't like two shades of paint that have become one. This is the blending of oil and water. You go through flashes of the intent, the personality, the desires and thought processes of Apollinaire, and through your patron, back and forth, swirling. Not quite truly one. The little bits of Apollinaire like flex in the personality of your new guest. Makes it a little hard to find a center.
That's fair. That's fair. He's trying.
He is trying.
He's
though.
trying. I'm sure the distant sounds of chaos aren't helping any, but
Nothing truly relaxes a man like the sound of his home torn apart by civil war. Yeah,
that's true.
About to be in the process of Roderick. That's kind of where we're at now. So Apollinaire is trying to find the center while the strategic minds are working on how to solve the problem of both of the gates. The gate to the lower layer that is between the leadership and many of the fighters, and the gate to the upper layers where the Citadel lies. The Citadel that you have recently learned has ousted all non-Circle of the Eternity bannermen. And it is now not under the control of Altus, but specifically under the control of the Altan Church.
So I think that so to get the layout of this space correctly, this is a basement, right? Kind of like our Seven Jesters situation where there is a like main floor, or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the main floor here is just a residential. Y'all are basically in a storm cellar.
Okay.
Or a food cellar, one of the kind of ones you go in the alleyway, outside entrance, used for storage, generally speaking, or for bad storms, but now it has a completely different use.
So I think that what I did is like let Apollinaire go out, make sure that Gaia was lying down, and then once it seemed like things were sort of not completely settled, but the hubbub of everybody, or Aya and our new patron friend, I would go up to the first floor and kind of find like a quieter, I mean, obviously it's not quiet, chaos in the streets, but I would like to do two things. The first thing is send, using a first level spell, because I still have those before our long rests. I have two of them. I would like to send a message to Galag. That basically says, Circle of Eternity taking over Griffin. It's dire, it's desperate. Any help, please. Hoping that he will understand that if the Altan Church takes over Griffin, that is a direct threat to the livelihood of the Sylvanwood. And then the other thing that I haven't done because it just hasn't really occurred to Seraphina, but we're in a time of crisis and she has faced two big, scary, bad things. My background is an alkalite. Her parents are, holy people. And I don't know what I would be doing, but I would like to roll like a religion check to see, like, I, Kylie, don't know all of the details of what the elven spiritualism looks like, but it must be important. And so I feel like this is a Hail Mary. Seraphine is having a moment and having a bad moment.
Roll me a religion check at advantage.
Okay. $15.
So what you get with that religion check is, and you're looking for stuff relating to your enemies?
I mean, it's just more of like sort of into the ether. I'm like, you know, when you're in a moment of crisis and people are like praying to God like to get me through this situation. I think that this is what it is Seraphine is like, anything, brain, give me something. Even if it's just like comfort. I don't know. It's
so the Elven religion, their version of spiritualism is that there is a like overarching great spirit from whence all sentience comes from and to which all sentience returns on death. And there's a lot to that.
Mhm.
That's where the Elven reverence for even basic life, or to which all life, and I say sentience, but like a lot of the Elven religion is, you know, I kill this deer, the deer is the same as me, we come from the same spiritual source, and we'll both return to the same spiritual source.
right.
That kind of underlying brotherhood amongst all living things, you know, you have come to sense it, even amongst your enemies, allies, strangers, being as deeply involved in the spiritual religion of the Sylvan Kingdom as you had been, it is something that has become intuitive for you. As you think on this, that sense of relation that you have had to every living creature you have ever encountered, to one degree or another, you recall, felt dampened in your first encounter with the Knight of the Circle of Eternity when y'all were raiding a prison caravan. And the more you think on that, the more you dwell on it, focusing your thoughts, you realize that spiritual connection was completely absent in the Helmed Warrior that y'all fought in the alley. Perhaps part of what made it so uncomfortable for you, but you weren't able to put a finger on it until now. And you don't know the details, as that is much more inner sanctum religion or religious knowledge than what you would have had access to as your parents' assistant.
Mm-hmm.
But you know the legends of the Elfin King, your leader, who has been the king of the Sylvan Nation since always, involve some of the stories, I guess, not official religious writ, but some stories talk about the Elfin King doing battle with beasts unconnected entirely to the Great Spirit. And not in the same way that the Fae are, because the Fae are beings of the Shadow Wilds, but beasts right here in the mortal realm. You don't know anything more than that. But you feel there is some connection there.
Okay.
As you are contemplating this, a couple hours later, the Silver Fox returns.
That throws Seraphina completely off guard, because that's
You were expecting a, like, many hours or days long response. And it speaks in Galagfin's voice. We will discuss it in person shortly.
I think Seraphia just sort of lies down on the floor and looks up at the ceiling and goes, "Oh shit."
Make me a check with your spellcraft modifier, your spell modifier.
Yeah. 1 second, I have to look that up. Is that +6? Is that what this is? No.
Proficiency plus, I think, wisdom for you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Charisma.
That's right. Bard, not cleric. I don't know.
Yes, that's +6. Okay.
All right. Yep.
21.
21. That is more than enough. The fox did not even have time to have traveled 6 hours and back.
Okay.
All right, so Roderick, what are you doing during this low relaxation period?
I have an out of character question. Would Roderick know where that piece of jewelry of Apollinaire's is at, or rather,
That's between you and
Apollinaire's
Apollinaire.
wife? Yeah. Is that something he would keep on him, or would it probably be back in the Seven Gestures?
If he put it back in the box.
Okay.
Yes, it would still be at the theater.
We're in what layer right now?
You're on the correct layer, but it's a highly patrolled layer, and y'all are a couple miles away from the Justice.
We had to sneaky snake
Gotcha.
our way here.
Work. Yeah, I guess in that case I'll go see what the new Apollinaire's like. Go outside and have a chat with him, as we are prone to do while other people rest.
That's never happened in this game. Not even one.
All right. That is yet more that is between the two of you.
I'll just walk up to him, a little on guard, and conversationally just ask,
So 3 days in.
What?
So 3 days in.
My boy, we got to bring the mic up right here. It's struggling. So 3 days in. It would appear that way, yes. Now you're muted. And I said, hey, yeah.
So the fire in Roderick's helmet go out. for
What's
some reason.
going on?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are, yeah.
What happens after that? Ed?
Well, then I eat him. Us, I suppose.
So you get his soul. Body kills over.
Yes. Is that yeah. It seems like what it is, yes.
Yeah, right. Well. So other guy, what's your whole angle in this?
What do you mean? I'm enjoying myself. Fine meal, a show. What more could you ask for?
Oh, so you're just in it to eat his soul in.
Yeah,
Just
that's
hungry.
what I made the deal for.
Okay. I reckon that makes sense. And he promised you that soul whenever it ended 3 days.
Yeah.
Alright. I guess it's a done deal then. No wiggle room in that bargain.
Just smiles real big. I mean, is there anything that you have to offer? I don't think you really have a soul, so to speak.
I mean, I think I do. Maybe not an appetizing one.
Tilts his head.
Apollinaire, or I guess
Yeah.
Goromandas is
Yeah.
who I will be speaking to.
Oh shit.
If you take a moment to get a sense of Roderick's soul,
Mhm.
what you feel, sense, taste, smell seems to you revolting. Not revolting in the way that rotten food is revolting, but revolting to you in the way that trying to drink a poisonous chemical or like a can of Raid bug spray is revolting. It seems acrid, it seems unpleasant and prickly and off-putting.
A bit too manufactured for my taste. I prefer the real thing.
I wasn't really offering anything like that. I just didn't know if there was an agenda other than the meal you might have had.
No.
So just a little bit of chaos.
No. A fine meal.
Alright.
This is just kind of glances around and kind of like moves his hands up and down. This is just dessert. Come early.
So when you kill other folks with that power, do you take their souls in too?
I don't take anybody's soul. I trade.
Oh, okay. I see.
It tastes better that way.
Right. Well. Usually when people are hanging out and sleeping, being about, well, I don't know. You've been with the pollinator this whole time.
I caught most of what you said, I think.
Yeah.
Is it coming through really quiet?
It seems more distorted than usual.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
it's like more heavily distorted.
I'll try to fix that up during the break.
Okay.
So I guess you've been with the pollinator this whole time.
Since you met him, yes.
So you know me then.
I do. I've watched you. Interesting little construct.
Well, is there any way you can piss off for a bit so I can chat with my friend? At least just, like, no offense.
Maybe. It's kind of a bit of a visible struggle. What is his logic?
Not in particular. I mean, I think the girls are pretty upset over the situation, but you know, plenty of folks have died over the past few months, so
I think this is a little bit different, but
well, they all make sacrifices. No right to deny you yours.
that same bit of a smile starts to creep in, and it's it is just better. Is it? Guy has a lot more life to live.
Sure. Well, so other guy, what's it like when you get your soul eaten? He just kind of ceases to be, or
That I don't think that is worth contemplating, was it? Better
What?
not to worry about it.
I mean, you're my friend. I don't want you to suffer. Well, you get your answer the question. Simple one. I'll cut it off here. Is it painful forever, or is it just nothing?
Just laugh. That's it. Short chuckle.
Oh well, I figured as much.
I think it's, like I said, it's better not to think about it all that much.
Sure. We can think about happy memories then.
Gave up a bunch of those already. What's it? Oh, yes. Yeah. I'll be content.
Right. Well, I mean, you got married, right?
They did.
Had a wedding day ceremony, all that fun stuff.
Of course.
Cool.
He definitely was going somewhere with that, but isn't the most keen subterfuge person. So he's just like, got it, cool. Pocket that one away for another time. And then just kind of goes on to just chat about normal stupid stuff that they usually chat about during the night.
So while they have that probably somewhat disconcerting conversation with the entity cropping up every now and then, Gaia, we left you off. You were having a bit of a hard time. Had already kind of secluded yourself as much as you can in this kind of scenario. So what are you doing during this brief period of downtime?
So, if I remember correctly, last place Gaia was in the
In bed with
of-
the lieutenant.
who had been injured.
Yeah, she was still unconscious, but had been stabilized.
While all of Gaia's friends are out doing what they were doing, Gaia would have spent most of the time in the bed, not asleep, just staring blankly. And eventually she'll just sigh. With what feels like 1,000 pounds on her back, stand up, get out of bed, and even then stumble a few steps, just slowly stagger to the door. When she gets to the doorknob, just straighten up, open the door into the conversation Roderick and what's left of Apollinaire is having. And she'll just look at the two of them. Give Apollinaire a hug. And take a few steps back. You're not Apollinaire. You'll never be what he was, who he was, the great man that he was. And I will kill you. It may not be me. One of my children will.
You're gonna hurt my feelings, girl.
I don't give a fuck about your feelings. You're killing my friend. You're going to devour his soul.
Yes. And it is going to be delicious.
I hope it is. I will fucking destroy you. You, Aya, any other prick that gets in my way. You're taking my Appy away from me.
Oh, sweetheart. He took him away from you.
No, you chose to take the deal with him. You chose to offer it, but you chose to accept it.
Oh,
He will die. You will die.
he shook my hand. Fully willing.
Congratulations, you both die. Except the difference is you will kill him, I will kill you.
Oh, you are fun. Very, very fun.
So what do I call you, prick? Because it's not Apollinaire. You don't deserve his
Gaia,
name.
it's just stop, please.
No. I'm sorry what is left of
You
you.
have so much life left for yourself to live. Do not do this. Free yourself of air and do what you want.
I'm sorry, Apollinaire. You don't get to choose what I do with my grief. When you made the deal, you lost that. So I will spend the rest of my life preparing. In the Sylvan words, I will have a family. They will prepare. And we will lead the armies against whatever killed you. We will destroy it. We will destroy Aya.
Well, in this endeavor, I hope you fail. At least in finding it.
So I think Seraphina, because I'm assuming that this building isn't very big, so she's been sort of listening to this entire conversation.
Probably.
And would you argue that this is around the time that I get the fox back?
Yes.
Or could it be?
Yeah.
So I come to the group and go, well, that's not going to matter if we all die in this fucking city.
Too true.
So I just heard back from Galag. Apparently, there are Sylvan agents already in the city. So maybe they can assist us with some of the more stealthier mission. Save God, I don't even remember what his fucking name is in the Citadel. Got himself fucking captured. Useless son of a bitch.
God damn.
Jesus.
Seraphina, she is so mad. It's like, we did our part. We locked out a whole bunch of people.
Antoine
And
Delafosse was the one that got
Anton
captured.
Delafosse. Thank you. But
Gotcha.
it's like, and we moved Pascal over the wall, and you'd think that he would have had like contingencies upon contingencies, because that's what you should have. And then he didn't think, what happens if the like political machinations person gets captured? That it's incredibly possible. That's not even like that's never gonna happen. That's a plan, like what happens plan C level kind of things. So
Look,
Seraphina,
he said we have one plan, and it's plan A. That's it.
yeah, no. So, and Seraphina is just like done. She's tired. She's angry.
Plan A all the way.
And so,
Seraphina, make me a perception check.
okay. Perception. I'm not very good at those, but I rolled okay. 18.
Yeah, I'll say that is more than enough. You notice a whole lot of birds, like far more than usual. Certainly more than you would expect in, like, you know, a burning, housey, street fighting civil war. Starts off as like maybe a couple finches, a few doves, a few sparrows, mostly woodland birds.
Might actually have someone capable of salvaging this crisis.
As you say that, you hear a familiar voice from off to your left. Stepping around a corner, Galag Finn. It is not me. It will be you. All of you, in fact.
So, just tell me why you're here.
He is continuing to walk forward. He was not strolling, and he looks like a man that has been traveling hard. He looks haggard. But he does hesitate for a moment on his way into the building. I have been given my mission directly by the Elfin King.
What
and you
does
have
our...
as well.
Oh God, okay.
He takes out a wooden case, tied with a single strand of twine in the center of it. Almost looks like a, like, you know, the nice wooden cases that like a fancy pen would come in. But it's over 2 feet long.
Oh, shit, it's a big pen.
It's a nuke.
Yep, it's a nuke. A gift and a responsibility. And he hands it to you with what you will recognize as a fair amount of reverence for its contents.
I take it. Undo the twine.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, it's and open it.
Inside is a singular arrow. It appears not just based on weathering, but by its very construction, old. It is deeply grained wood, a ivory or bone or something along those lines, you're not sure, carved arrowhead bound by string or sinew and notched, heavily worn fletching. Also of note is the fact that the arrowhead itself and several inches of the shaft appear to be stained in blood, long since dried.
I look at it. I close the case and go, give me my orders and what the responsibility is.
Hopefully this will mean more to you than to me. But that is to slay a monster.
I've been slaying so many monsters. What makes this one different?
Hopefully you will know, because I do not. He's saying this with just deeply sunken eyes. Can't imagine the last time he slept. He looks about ready to collapse. But I will also offer my assistance how I can.
Well, we can't have your assistance if you're going to fall asleep on your feet. So if you go downstairs, you can find some, at least, rest and refuge until we need to move places.
Indeed. Will is here. I need to get some kind of consultation.
Pascal's downstairs, along with several of the other folks. They can fill you in.
He nods, blinks a few times, and heads downstairs to get a little bit of a briefing.
Did that exchange happen in front of everyone?
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that my new source of memories? Is that arrow significant in any way?
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could do a history check on this.
You may both roll a knowledge history check. There will be a DC differential for each of you.
Okay, just straight history.
Yep.
Mine's a 15.
You have no idea.
Also a 15.
You would recognize the arrow as being of the handiwork of the Elfin King himself. But you are not quite sure the significance of this particular arrow.
Okay. Just like as he's shutting the door so that just enough so he will hear. He's gonna kind of look at Seraphina in the box, look back to Seraphina. Well, that's a mighty fine gift to send to a king's tool.
Which is why I was wondering what the requirements were. Because I think that I'm almost done being his hand here.
While they're having this exchange, Roger would like to just pluck up the arrow nonchalantly.
Okay.
You'd have to take it out of her hands.
Oh.
It is like I've closed the.
Yeah, it's back in
thing.
the case.
Like, let me see that.
Roderick, whatever this is, I know is powerful.
But you want to see how it works?
Yeah. I can't pass the container over.
I'll cast Identify.
I'm going to double check the very specific wording of that spell real quick because there's a few connotations.
This thing is supernatural in nature. It's not magic. Different.
Oh.
Got him.
So let's see.
It's completely mundane. He's like, here's a shitty arrow. Bye.
It's got king blood on it.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say two things. One of them connected to identify and one of them not. What you get from identify is one, it is not attunement. It does not seem to have a particular enchantment or spell on it. It is, however, housing probably the greatest amount of unspecified magic you have seen in a single object before, Roderick.
Cool.
The best way I could explain it in the short term would be whatever that magic is manifesting is, if identify is usually like figuring out a cross stitch for you, like on one of those little circular knitting things. This is looking at such a grandiose, complex matrix of magical patterns that it seems almost like nonsense.
All right, gotcha.
The part that is not connected to identify is when you take hold of the arrow and your attention is drawn to the dried blood on the front, you become immediately overwhelmingly angry just for a moment, and then it fades.
That's a Nazi killing arrow.
Well, that's really magical. Like, a lot magical. And whoever you fire at things at is gonna be really pissed off, if not dead.
Okay. And I like hold my hands back and like grab it.
Gaia will look up at you, Seraphina, and just say, I need to talk to you in somewhat of private when you have a moment. And walk inside to go find somewhere private. And as she walks back, Apollinaire, not Apollinaire, she'll just say, prick.
Apollinaire asterisk.
Wiggles eyebrows.
I think Seraphina is, when she's like watches Gaia move away and looks at Apollinaire, it says, I don't agree, but I understand.
So kind of you to
It's not kindness. It's about practicality.
If you're ever feeling practical.
I've already sold my soul to a different devil and walks away to find Gaia.
Probably the first unoccupied room you find, you will hear just sound of quiet sobbing. And if you go in, you'll find Gaia in the middle of the room, collapsed. Just in a heap, crying.
I tie the box back up and put it by the door, and then take 2 or 3 steps to the center of that room and put my arms around you. Gaia, I know.
Seraphina, I need to know two things. That you'll do two things for me.
I have to hear them first before I can make a promise.
If I die and you make it out, or somebody, one of us makes it out, obviously Apollinaire isn't, and you can't find where I'm from, just find somewhere nice near a river.
I will do my best with that one.
And if I do make it out, I want to go to the Sylvan Forest. I have to ask somebody for help.
I can get you to the Sylvan Forest. But I heard what you said to Apollinaire. And a crusade like that will only end with your death and sadness. You and I did not question where Apollinaire got his abilities, so he's had this before we even met him.
It was never in him. Not like this. Not that thing. I love Apollinaire. And I will cherish what I have, the time that I have with him. But my Apollinaire is dead. In 3 days, the moment he made the deal, he's dead.
Gaia, that was always going to be the case. And and you know what? Even I dreamed of us easily destroying the everything and building it back up and finding a house by the creek and caring for Max and having you and Apollinaire and Roderick as neighbors where we were just find peace, but that was never gonna be the case. It was never gonna be the case. That arrow, if I take that arrow, it is a signing a deal with the devil. And I will never be able to get out of it. Apollinaire will be gone. And Roderick will have the people he cares for. And you cannot let this vendetta against something that he knew full well what he was doing overcome your life. So please just let's get through these next 3 days and just try to live.
Gaia doesn't respond at first. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize for your thoughts and feelings. I'm just telling you that this is the nature of it. There is no right or wrong in war. There's no easy decisions in war. And when it's all over, it's still going to be a battle.
As you guys are having this conversation, you can hear, just not that far, Galag discussing with Pascal, getting updated on what all's going on. Y'all have the opportunity to talk or rest or prepare yourselves or your equipment. And after a short while, you will have completed a long rest.
Hey.
Um,
Dab.
any
During that time, while Kylie and Gaia, Seraphina and Gaia are off having the conversation, I would strike up a conversation again with Apollinaire and just simply ask,
So what kind of cool things can you do together now if you're like all super powered up and stuff? You like breathe fire, immune to magic.
I think that it is just more of the same, like just more.
Oh, well, he's supposed to be like a big spirit, spooky god thing, right?
Yes, but this mortal vessel is just so fragile.
Oh, I see. That's rough. I mean, I reckon this is kind of off-putting for you, right? Because I guess now you're having to like breathe and eat and feel pain and stuff.
He just. Oh no, this is wonderful. It's so different.
I reckon so. Oh,
Though I don't suppose you'd understand.
that's right.
Quite the same.
No, it's not the same. No. I mean, if we're gonna be doing battle together, you know, if you got any cool new tricks, lay them on me so we don't, we know the battle plan.
But don't you just love surprises?
In most cases, yeah, actually, well,
Roderick out there with the time and a place.
He just smiles. Logic, I would not expect it to be helpful. At least outside of the letters of what we agreed.
was the letters that you agreed on?
Finishing help liberating Griffin and to prevent from taking Gaia to the best of his ability.
And you get your soul in return for your age.
Yes.
What was the other bargain?
The original was just the power to make a difference in this conflict.
And what did he get?
What?
What did he get?
The same thing. Now it's just happening faster.
Gotcha.
And I think, as you can see, I think he enjoys being along for the ride. Yes.
Yeah, he seems kind of bored.
I think-
Justin,
oh.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, sort of after, like, I think Seraphina would have left Gaia, to finish her feelings about everything, and grabbed all of her stuff and like posted up at the top of the cellar door, and unless somebody wanted to chat with her or, Apollinaire and our new friend tag teaming there wanted to chat, Seraphina is not really doing much.
I think Apollinaire would exit from outside, in part to avoid having to continue to have conversations that are making the Apollinaire part not terribly happy. And additionally, to make the people inside uncomfortable, to the delight of
Gotta spread the
days.
suffering.
Yeah, and just walking past Seraphina, just kind of quick glance at her, just a slight slow in stride, and just, you're not sad, you're angry, and then keep on walking.
Right, so all of that being said, as you reach the end of your long rest being a relative term in the midst of all the chaos and conflict and twisty bits, the most famous question of them all, high or low?
That's a stupid question.
No,
You
we
know
have, we
the-
have one
You
out.
know the answer.
And I said,
Don't-
hi.
I gotta
know. Do the-
I'm going
sisters.
to no. Today is a. I'm gonna go with the party high.
Wow, okay.
Well,
Alright,
I'm going
well,
50%.
Dubs.
Going 50%.
I want the middle 50.
The middle 50.
I want the 25 to 75 range.
Alright.
He said, oh, that's crazy. Anyway.
You guys get what napping in you can while you can.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, fucking losers over there keeping your eyes closed,
You
having organic eyeballs. Could
y'all
be
meet
me.
back. Good grief. You meet back the conscious lieutenants, the field foxes, Galagfin, a couple of others you don't recognize. They don't seem to be original members of the Order of the Dawn. They seem to be civilians that have been caught up and are along for the ride. The leaders, Lai Fang, Pascal, y'all are all crammed down there in the cellar around. Y'all have seen some very primitive SAM table maps before, but this is probably one of the most improvised y'all have ever seen. Like thimble, spool of thread, an upturned cup, a whole lot of like twigs and forks laid out to form lines of the walls. Coins for the troops on the board, all on the top of just a wooden crate. This is the desperate base of operations of a coup/civil war in progress, for sure.
Nice.
So what we have thrown together, I suppose. We have a strategy for taking the gates. But we will not be sending you. We need you to make it to the Citadel. We are concerned, as is Galag speaking for his king, and your king too, Seraphina, that it is only Knights of the Circle within the Citadel. So besides simply rescuing Delafos, which is a priority, but we have spoken to one of the ousted Alten soldiers. He describes a confusing situation. And I cannot think of people who could deal with a confusing situation that I could send in your stead. We have seen success so far from a single supplies attack in the midst of a distraction, and we are going to do it once more. Galag is going to assist you getting into the next layer. And we will make our attack on the gate. Ideally, seizing it, and we will be able to join our forces together and seize a greater control of the city at large. But the twofold effect of keeping eyes down here, and hopefully they will not notice something else is amiss until you are inside. Do you all understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we got it.
This point you'll notice he himself is also, or I guess you would have noticed before, armed and armored. As is Hassan Osayesh. The only one not armed fully would be Lai Fang, who has a sword. Doesn't necessarily look like he super knows how to use it, but he's got one.
He just wants you to think that he doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah. Merchant, secretly ninja, but you know,
He has monk levels.
20 of them, in fact.
Yeah. We can say monk, actually.
Is there anything else that we can do to assist you that you can think of before we begin getting in position for our operation?
Don't die.
We are coordinating with our forces in the fourth layer. We figure a joint attack from both directions simultaneously will be the best opportunity. They will give us a signal as they charge. Once the focus is on them, we will counterattack and take the gate, hopefully. Galag says, he kind of looks over at the elf who has not spoken yet in this briefing. Claims he has ways. He did not share with me the specifics, though. I take it is a matter of Sylvan privacy.
Orbital drop elves.
He's a member of Sylvan Team 6.
Yeah.
SEAL Team 6, it's actually just a bunch of druids that are literally shapeshifted into seals.
Primaris elf and marine.
Goodness. Goodness.
Drop pods.
Drop pod elves. Terminator elves.
So then when do we start this?
Yeah.
Looks at his timepiece, says, we will be making our position, or heading towards our position within the next hour.
All right.
It is getting late. It is probably like midnight or close to it, because y'all have done everything else pretty early.
Yeah.
So it will be a night raid in both cases.
Right.
We are banking on the unknown and the chaos. The shadows of nighttime seem the best to facilitate that.
Very well.
So, anything else y'all have to say or ask or do before y'all separate out with Galag?
Just as we do separate, like once we're like just outside of earshot of all the other guys that are me going to attack the gate, Just gonna... A lot of those guys are gonna die. Throwing themselves at defenses waiting for them.
Yes, they will.
You're an asshole, and you smell worse, and no more problem there.
So sad. Truly.
I thought we were just saying things to be assholes. No jumping in on the fun.
Despite who is assholes, we need to get moving. Apparently, I'm just going to use the same accent for every NPC tonight. Please forgive me.
Be like that sometimes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah? Name. Mutad.
I will get you more information when we get closer. But we should depart.
Yes. With haste
Yeah, let's go.
and stealth.
Well, okay.
He just grows treads so that he doesn't have to walk.
You have to put your giant tarp up over you. Zip you up.
We're gonna roll you up like an armadillo and just. All right. Nice.
You guys set out after Galag, who takes the lead, which is interesting because you weren't aware he knew much about the city, but he seems to know
He's
where
a
he is
spy.
going through back alleys and leading you around patrols and such. I will, because you never know, need a stealth check from everyone.
Hell yeah! I'm not
11.
any stealthier if anybody was curious.
26.
11. Oh, I got better than Gaia.
What was that,
9.
Holy shit. Oh, you know, me and Seraphina are real sneaky. We've been training together a lot. You guys suck.
I don't think I think part of the problem is this dude just doesn't give a shit. He's like, oh yeah, I totally want to fucking kill people. Like, he's just kind of walking around behind you guys.
You can't get your kill count up if you bypass all
Yeah.
the enemies, dummy.
Gotta get your money up before you get your funny up, son. You know what I'm saying?
Much to your co-inhabitants' dismay, Apollinaire, almost inexplicably, y'all don't seem to draw any attention.
That's just disappointing.
So was that 11 actually like 21? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Ah, passed
Got
out a trace.
36.
As y'all creep through the back alleys of the city, between patrols, past houses, the shadows cling to you, and you don't seem to make much noise, even when you bump into things.
I can't really see much out here, but it seems really dark.
Roderick, the Sylvan people have ways to be unseen.
They do. And Galag is a representative of their most unseen group, even within the elves.
Take your fucking top off, man.
Well, Sill Team 6 representing out here.
Soon. Soon.
You get to a far southwestern edge of the wall, not too far from the edge of the city. Already considering it there, production crew already considering it. You know, sometimes stand on track is sometimes is harder than others. But as y'all reach a particularly deserted part of the lair. Seems like perhaps an area that had already seen some fighting. He takes you up against the wall, having waited for a above patrol to walk past.
Patrol of how many, though?
Groups of 5.
Groups of 5.
More heavily than down on the outer wall and third layer wall.
Patrol of 5 sounds like they probably fit quite neatly in a 20-foot radius, you know what I'm saying?
Probably, yeah. But Galah gets you to a empty section of wall. He says, "This is where I send you on your way. If I get you through, it will be up to you to get to the Citadel itself." Seraphina,
Yes.
I cannot give you guidance on your gift from the Elfin King. But he looks you dead in the eye before finishing his statement. Hesitates for a moment, but does not blink as he says, "I think if you succeed, you will be able to get things that you want." Perhaps recalling some of the conversations you have had with him the last time he was here. Some of your more long-term goals.
And what are the terms to that, though? Did he say?
He furrows his brow a bit. Looks at the wooden case you're carrying with you. "I am unsure. I wish I could tell you more.
Thank you.
This is beyond even me."
Wait,
What's up?
so he's offering you a deal,
I am
but you
offering
do not.
nothing.
But your king guy thing, he's offering you a deal, but you do not know what the terms are. At least this
It
fuck
is.
offered the deal and actually told what the terms were.
This is less of being offered a deal and more a representation at the level of trust and responsibility being placed on Seraphina at this time.
She's helping lead the fucking rebellion. How much?
Oh, you mean if she used that arrow, she's gonna have to be like an assassin forever for the Sylvan folks or something, right?
I should hope the opposite.
Oh, okay, I'm confused now. Hey, carry on.
Are you ready?
Seems dumb.
We don't have really an option, so.
Then in Sylvan he says, "Very well." Takes a wooden map case looking thing off of his belt, unscrews the top, and takes out
Secret tunnel.
a length of thick parchment, heavily inscribed with complex and overlapping eldritch runes in multiple colors. Taking a belt knife, he pricks his thumb, placing smears at points along the scroll, and begins chanting. As he presses the scroll against the wall, the shadows around the wall seem to deepen. even for those that generally can see into the dark, it seems to fade into nothingness. It is like looking into a dark corner where the light does not reach.
Does that apply if you can see in magical darkness, Dan?
Yes.
Interesting.
Be on your way.
And I just walk forward.
Kylie walks into the shadow.
What is this
Disappears.
Kylie that you
Kylie, no!
Who?
Who plays
Seraphina.
Seraphina?
Seraphina steps into the shadow and is soon lost to sight and sound.
Oh, I'm not gonna let my good buddy Seraphina go in by herself, so I'm gonna hot skip and jump on through there.
Good luck
Much
on
as you
whatever other mission I'm sure the Elven King has left for you, sir. Steps in the dark.
First, Seraphina, then Roderick, then Apollinaire Asterisk. Following after him, Gaia?
Apollasterisk.
You should reconsider your employment. Goes into the thing.
You start job hunting.
He pulled a Batman. By the time you turned to speak to him, he was gone.
He's gone. Oh shit! You can't do that.
The real
Probably
best use of Fey Touched.
Elfman.
Um,
Myself, if I ever play Batman in D&D, take Fey Touch. I could just.
Seraphina, as the first into the shadow, the door, path. You step in, and at first it is like walking into a dark, path. You don't feel anything. It just gets darker and darker till you can see nothing at all. And then you can. More steps in. The darkness begins to lend itself to shapes. There's no light source. The things aren't being illuminated, and yet almost inexplicably you can see, despite being aware of absolute darkness. You see a winding path in front of you, seems to meander lazily. Things off to the side, off the path, seem fuzzy and unfocused. And there is a subtle whispering, almost inaudible. You notice it most when you are paying attention to other things. Then it goes quiet whenever you try and focus on it. Things you aren't looking directly at seem to shift or be things they are not when they're not in focus. Trees change shape, and something you thought was a tree one moment you turn to look and is a statuette. A rock is a bush. And the path is laid out ahead of you into the darkness, further than you can see. As you look around at these disorienting surroundings, you're joined by Roderick, Apollinaire, and eventually Gaia. You'll notice Roderick does not seem to be giving off any light here. Nothing is.
All right.
This place is fucking weird.
AJ, Professor, I don't know how we are supposed to be getting inside from here.
You just need to keep walking.
You know, this is kind of weird. I never actually ever been 100% in the dark before, like ever. So I get it now. It's kind of scary.
Gaia, make me an Arcana check.
Ducky dice. Ooh. Ooh.
It's not a hard check.
Well, hopefully a 13 will help.
God damn.
It will.
Hey.
It won't give you the specifics, but you will know that somehow you were in the Shadow Wilds, or at least something incredibly like it. Although something seems off. This is not exactly how you have experienced it in the past.
It is all right, Roderick. You can hold my hand. I used to be afraid of the dark too. And this place is extra dark.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll hold her hand. It's fucking weird.
I think at this point, I've probably taken one of my swords out of its sheath, and it's just probably 2 steps in front of everybody, leading the way.
You guys walk down the path. The further you walk in the path, the more present those barely audible whispers, the more shifting at the corners of your vision, flashes of movement, objects changing when not being focused on. You walk for what feels like an hour. And you can almost feel it as it reaches an apex of intensity and disconcerting insubstantiality. And you can feel as those same sensations begin to fade. And that bubble of vision around you in the dark without illumination narrows and narrows until you cannot see behind you, cannot see the path in front of you and underfoot, the companions all around you. And then light. And you walk outside the other side of the wall within the second layer of Griffin. As Gaia steps out, you turn and look, and behind you is just a solid stone wall.
Well, that was convenient.
Seraphina, fuck it, roll me a history check.
Okay. 16.
There's stories about members of the Sylvan Wraiths being able to get places they shouldn't have been, but you're not familiar at all with this. You wouldn't know any more about the legends than the people around you would.
What about not about those legends, but about that place we just went through specifically? Something I would be familiar with as to whether it was actually passing through the Shadow Wilds or if it was just something akin to it.
You roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana. Manana Arcana.
I will also take history. They will be.
History is better.
They will be. They will get you different answers.
9.
9.
Strong 4 plus 5.
Your co-inhabitant has never really been interested in the Shadow Wilds or the Fae.
Damn,
His interests are
boring
elsewhere.
place. So sad.
So you guys are
Fair enough.
within the second layer. It is close to 1 a.m. You'll notice, I believe at least Gaia had a timepiece. I don't know about the rest of you.
No.
Y'all had been on that path of shadows for what felt like an hour. But 2 or 3 minutes have passed.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
A dub.
So we're in the second layer now. Are there like any guards within sight?
Yeah, we see any dodes?
Where are y'all heading? Because where you're at right now, the only thing you see is the patrol that y'all already snuck past. Up on the wall, behind you.
Yo, that castle to fuck some shit up.
Yeah, I believe.
Front doors, obviously.
I'm going in the sewer grate.
Actually, and you can tell me no, but I feel like all of the time that Seraphina spent with the Rakides brothers, because this is the second level. This is where all of the people were living, right?
This is the layer where the wealthy and powerful generally live,
Right.
and also where they had particular government buildings.
Right. We need to get to the first layer, which is where the citadel is.
The only thing on the first layer is the citadel, and it has a small gate.
Okay. So I think, and again, you can say this didn't happen because we didn't talk about it beforehand, but I spent months with the Rakides, or at least a month with the Rakides brothers. Could I roll a luck check to see if maybe we stored something in the Karothi, like in the Rakides house, like in a basement or a cellar or something?
What are you attempting to have had stored?
I mean, anything that, like, I'm forgetting the brother's name, but the governor, like, he was a strategic Spiros, thank you. He was the other strategic genius. I think it would have been me and him having a conversation of, like, contingencies.
Execute Order 66.
Are we going with high here?
I'm gonna go with high here.
Yeah!
Today is
One of us.
Day is a good day to high.
Day is a good day to high.
You remember him mentioning that he had left a kind of a safe box, kind of a dead drop, concealed in the garden shed behind his house. But you did not discuss it in depth, so you do not know what is in it.
Okay. So I turn to my friends and say, we have to get to the Citadel, which means we have to cross this entire layer. There's a possibility that there are materials useful to us in the back of the Spiros residence. So we can go there, waste a little time to see if there's anything of import, or we can go directly to the Citadel. I will leave this up to everybody. This is not just my mission.
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess if it's, on the way, or not too big of a detour, we can get those resources and supplies and head on over.
DM, would any of us have had any idea whether the Rakides residence was fully staffed by Karothi or not?
Other than certain public servants, yes. The Rakides, at least Spiros, being of a high enough ranking individual that he was, being an actual general of the Karothi military,
Mhm.
had his own staff. He had
So it should be
Rokidi's family staff.
Empty.
Yes.
Maybe.
And this is all information that Seraphina would have had ready access to.
Yeah.
Because not only were you up here with Spiros, but you were also, even before all of this kicked off, fairly acquainted with the second layer anyway, because these are the people you generally perform for.
Correct.
You'd done house visits and performances at several residences here.
Right.
I do not think we should spend too much time, but if it looks like we can get in there fairly quickly and quietly, then...
I know where the back gate is. That's how my Alikos would get me in.
Oh. Sneaking it.
All right, let's go then.
All of you make me stealth checks and perception checks, one of each.
Stealth check. Ah. Nice.
Yes, you too.
4.
Jesus.
Only a 10.
18 on stealth.
Also 18 on stealth.
Dab.
Christ.
Yeah. Fire boys.
I rolled a 2 on my stealth check.
Me
Perception
too.
though, I rolled 17.
Let's see what that means for you.
I got 16.
You want to just hold on to those perception checks?
No, go ahead and roll them.
Okay.
Perceive the guards running straight at you.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
Perception check is 27.
Perception check is 27, 21.
17.
Does Apollinaire seem more wise in his combined state?
No.
Just more charismatically asshole.
Way more charismatic. Big old
Almost like
pearly
an-
whites.
An oppressive force of personality.
Yeah.
All right.
Dab.
You will notice there are almost no soldiers.
So sad.
Y'all are.
Like that almost.
You'll see like a couple in the distance walking.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you'll see a couple guarding another residence for an important individual. But you imagine that by the time you make it to the alleyways near the previous Rokidi's estate, you've probably seen less than 10 soldiers altogether.
Disappointed.
It's almost uncanny. The chaos and violence not that far away. Y'all just crept through.
Are the people fighting here? Darn.
You're not seeing anything. You're not even really seeing civilians. It's got strong small town at 3 a.m. vibes.
I see.
That almost eerie silence.
Does the Rokidi's residence seem to be equally empty?
You do not see anyone as y'all approach.
No lights on?
No lights on.
Hey.
I mean, it is also 1 a.m., so, you know, that also has something to do with the silence, but it just is a stark contrast to the fact that it does not seem to matter what time it is in the lower layers. It is still quite active.
Right.
You creep through alongside the estate and the neighboring estate, over the low wall, back to the work shed where the servants kept the tools they used to manage the yard and the topiary.
Mm.
And right where he showed you it would be under one of the floorboards is a locker. I'm not going to bother making y'all roll a check to open it up, as it is being held shut by a manual lock, and y'all have 97 different ways to almost effortlessly undo a regular padlock. You open the padlock, and inside is a glass vial with gold engraving on it, and a silver chain holding the cork inside, which has been waxed over. There is a wooden case with 4 shatter balls, 2 identifiable as the lacerating kind, and 2 identifiable as the smoke screen kind.
Did you vanish?
And there is I'm mind blanking on the term I have for it, but it is functionally a flare gun.
I just, as the stuff is getting unboxed, I would just like to detect magic. Just specifically, I'm curious as to whether the vial
of fluid is indeed magical.
What school, damn? What the school looking like? You go to Princeton?
Evocation.
Evocation. Ooh.
So one last time. So it's the vial, 4 shatter balls, and what else?
A vial, 4 shatter balls, and a flare gun.
Flare
which
gun.
I am
Flare
looking
gun.
up the in-universe name for it as we speak.
Fire pistol.
Okay.
And two of
it
those
may
were
even
laceration,
just be flare
and
gun.
2 of them were smoke for the,
Mhm.
for the
Correct.
shatter balls.
They are shard and fog are the on the list. A star signal is the
Shard
flare
and
gun.
fog.
A small device
no.
similar in appearance to a hand crossbow, when fired, launches an elaborate canister filled with gently glowing fluid that explodes into brilliant light.
Cool. What happens if you hit somebody in the face with that?
And Seraphina, make a relatively easy history check or arcana check, whichever. I don't care. You would have been exposed to either one.
I mean, they're identical, so 15.
This is a potion of vitality. It will have a powerful healing effect. They are very, very rare.
Ooh. Why would he leave that? Survive.
So I keep one of the lacerating shatter balls, and then the other 3 I go, take your pick.
Mechanically, this will be a potion of supreme healing.
Holy
Okay.
shit. God damn that. 8d4 plus 8, baby.
No. It's 10d4 plus 20.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I'm thinking of superior as 8d4 plus 8. Supreme, that big heal. Chug. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I take one of the lacerating ones of shatter balls and go, each one of us should have one of these.
What they're being offered up. Lacerating.
I'll take it, smoke with me.
These are fun. Very exciting.
And then I hand Gaia the flare gun, because you're the only one who, I mean, you can use your cat form and peace out. And then I'm going to be a little selfish here and keep the vial.
You need that healing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of HP.
And if that's all it is, I say we must leave now.
Call our stash. Yeah, let's go.
As we exit, I wanna pinch like the edge of a curtain between my fingers. And I want to cast Prestidigitation and go ahead and light it on fire.
All right. So are you guys heading in the direction of the Citadel Gate?
Distraction.
Unless there's a obvious, easier way to get in, like ye old side entrance.
The Citadel Gate is the only way to get to the Citadel. They do not even have the postern gates.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How thick are the walls?
Here,
Extra thick.
Yeah.
same as the previous, just much, much smaller because each layer is concentrically smaller.
Hella thick.
So these guys have like, weren't the other ones like 25 feet thick? Okay.
Big. They wouldn't have any room on the inside, Kent.
I was about to say, like, how huge is this castle if they have 25-foot walls on just like the perimeter wall?
Big.
Well, the Citadel is... Castle might not be the right word for it. It relies on the city being the fortifications. This is more a elaborate, like, compound, manse kind of situation. The Citadel itself is not a defensible castle fortress. Structurally, I guess.
Gotcha.
So as long as you can get inside, once you get past the wall, home free.
Do you guys make your way across? Give me one more round of stealth checks, and then I will ask for perception afterwards.
Yeah.
As you depart the Rokides estate.
7.
Oh, you did better than me.
22.
14.
6.
I did 1 better than last time.
Gormandeus is he's impatient.
You're walking along, not making much of an effort to hide, Apollinaire.
Yeah.
You're noticed by 2 guards that move to confront you.
Only 2?
What are you doing?
See 2 guards that move. And he just kind of.
They hail you and they begin walking in your direction.
He just kind of swipes his hand side up, and I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast. I'm just gonna roll these. I'm just gonna roll 1 at a time, if you don't mind.
There's no need to roll.
No? Okay.
Yep.
Can I just describe what it does then?
Yes, that is what I'm gonna.
So, as he kind of swipes his hand through the air, like I said, the arm now like actively like blackened and actively burnt with like the cracks throughout the skin with like so that it's almost burning inside. As he kind of swipes his hand through the air, what seems like that liquid, like almost you know, when you've got metal that has been heated to a liquid, just seems to drip from the cracks as he kind of swipes his hand through the air. As he does so, the same portals that Apollinaire had normally cast Eldritch Blast through that kind of shuttered open next to him and fired out, they instead shutter open right next to them, and just what almost like spikes of liquid, what looked like maybe liquid metal or just magma, spike out, stab through one, up from the ground, and spike through the other.
In moments. It's the entire situation is maybe 3 or 4 seconds from the time they turned to you and shouted, raising a hand. They get only a couple steps towards you before they're snuffed out instantly. Molten core of Apollinaire's arm flaring to life as he manifests his power, and then dimming back down to its usual brightness.
I take quick steps and just drag them into an alley and just keep walking.
Okay.
I rolled a
One.
21 perception, just to let you know.
Yeah, that was about to be my next question.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all's perception check.
Percepi time. Yeah.
23.
9.
8.
Let's go.
Me and you, Ian.
I'm really good at killing shit. That is it right now. Murder.
With those perception checks, you see nothing at all. The eerie, almost disconcerting, comparatively, silence here on the second layer compared to the lower layers seems to double down. Those are the last two guards you see for the last mile to the Citadel gate. And as you arrive, the gate is completely unguarded. And that is where we're going to go on break.
Wow! Oof. It's a trap!
Say that again.
So thank you guys for sticking with us as this high-intensity subterfuge operation for them to try and save the day at the 11th hour. So stick around. We're going to go get something to eat. We're going to go relieve ourselves, and we will return for more high-packed action and other cool stuff. Certainly no more trauma. That would be unrealistic to expect of this group. All happy smiles all the time. We'll see you guys here in just a minute. Thanks for sticking around.
Bye!
And welcome back, beloved viewers.
Bye!
The second half of episode 19, Blood and Silver here on Hard Knock Dice. First half of our session, our brave heroes had some uncomfortable conversations with sort of their comrade and sort of the fiendish entity contained within. And then the shocking and very timely re-arrival of the elven commando Galag Finn, who showed up haggard and weary with a gift for Seraphina directly from the Elfin King. Not just sent by him, but crafted by his hand. And then Galag, as his last gift, helped them get into the second layer on their way to the Citadel, as the remaining forces within the third layer of the city of Griffin of the Order of the Dawn charged the gate in a two-pronged attack to help seize the area while they do business at the Citadel. We left off as they covertly moved through the second layer, which wasn't that hard, seeing as there weren't that many guards, except for two that they found that were instantly killed by Apollinaire's inhabitant. They did manage to find a little bit of extra loot in a safe box under their previous ally's estate garden shed. And they made it to the Citadel gates, the inner sanctum of Griffin City. But there's no one there. No guards, nothing. And so we revisit them as they look upon this entirely unguarded inner sanctum. What are you doing?
Yeah, so with those perception checks, we didn't see anything untoward.
Shit.
Yep.
I got a 5, I'm pretty sure. So, or like a 7 or something. So I didn't see nothing.
It's definitely clear.
All clear. Yeah.
One of you rolled a 21. I can't remember which, but
I did.
you don't see soldiers. You don't see evidence of a struggle. You don't see alarms or traps of any kind.
What about with a 23, though?
All
You
of the
see-
traps, all of the alarms.
You see a lack of all of the things I just listed, but even harder.
Well, it seems real fucking deserted at the moment, so we might as well get in there and get down to business, I reckon.
I think you're right.
I'm sure
I-
nobody's around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they are. They're just probably not at the gate because they think they're safe.
There's no use just standing around at the very least. At the very least.
Alright, yeah, let's go.
I mean, I'm gonna go through, but I'm gonna try to do it as stealthy as possible.
Sure.
Great. 15 plus 8, so 23.
You go through. Is anybody else sneaking, or who's going behind her, or how's that working?
Sure, I'll creep in with her with a whopping 7.
I'll also attempt.
The whole squad.
We are not in combat, but if you guys would launch Tailspire that have not already launched Tailspire.
Not an
I
ambush,
mean-
you say. Not an ambush, you say.
I'm using all of my one good roll for the night on this stealth check with a 23. Natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
I got an 8.
Cool. Yeah. Love it. Y'all are being very stealthy, except for one noisy, fey winged cat behind you.
Gorman Dash just.
Um,
I got a 7, she got an 8, so I'm still worse than that.
Y'all
Yeah.
both suck.
Get
Yeah.
fucked, Roderick.
It should just be Citadel, I think. To production crew, or Griffin Citadel.
Shittendale. Hell yeah.
As you guys walk through the gate, it is a 2-part gate. You go past the first. I've just completely brain dumped on the word portcullis.
Nice.
Past the second portcullis, neither of which was closed. You are now in the Citadel grounds, and you still don't see anyone. The guard station on the inside of the Citadel, where usually enforcers would be, is empty. There is no bustle of servants. There are no guards in any of the towers or at any of the guardhouses. You see no one on the inner wall.
Are there
Are there any signs of like a struggle or anything like that, or where people? Okay.
You do not see signs of violence from where you are standing. And production crew, feel free to summon them to the board when you are ready.
Live.
Can do another perception check to see if I see
Oh,
anything
God.
on the inside.
Guys, we're on the ocean.
Oh shit!
Look at all this water. We're on an island.
For all intents and purposes, the Citadel exists in a courtyard surrounded by walls on all sides, or on 3 sides, and the mountain itself to the back.
It's a big
So
house.
we'll have a very
house.
little bit of space where the water is, but that would just be more grassy area.
Oh, it's a nice crib. What the hell? Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. Is this the, like, what we're in front of right now? Did you say this was kind of like the guardhouse that would normally be inhabited?
This is a chapel. The guardhouses would be behind you, which is where the gate is.
Gotcha. So, okay. All right. Well,
shout outs to Sergrim, who designed the overwhelming majority of this on Tales Bazaar.
Nice.
Whoa, Tales Bazaar is awesome. I too like to not have to do make maps myself.
I am not very good with Tailspire, and while usually I try to Frankenstein the maps together, this one is slightly modified. It was almost perfect in its blank state. So yeah,
Right.
tell you.
So what do you think they're holding our guard?
You should all have control of your characters.
Presumably somewhere secure. I don't, unless anybody is familiar with the layout of this place for some reason. We'll just have to check everywhere.
Alright.
You just cut out entirely.
What?
I did not hear a word you said.
Which of y'all have been in a castle before?
I don't think that it is my mission to first prioritize the Griffin Governor. If we are going to win this, we have to kill the knights.
I heard like a lot of them.
I would assume that there's at least a handful. And those pompous pricks are probably at the heart of it.
Cutting
The heart
off
of
the
it.
head of the snake. As
Yes.
Is this
Is a chapel in front of us? Does it have like any religious iconography?
The chapel is not
I got
associated with any particular deity. It is for use of any of a variety of both legal and religious ceremonies as needed.
Let's get in there.
I was just saying, if it's unlocked, I just want to thaumaturgy that fucking bitch over. Just,
Hey.
just fling open the door. Just
Um,
as he walks forward, just wave hand, see if it's unlocked.
I could not find a better pedestal. There is not actually a giant silver skull.
Oh,
It is a pedestal that has like crystal accoutrement on it.
okay.
Do Altons use crystals?
Oh shit.
I mean, not
Align
more
their
or less than
energies.
anyone else.
Okay.
And what's going on in here? Where'd I go?
Eh.
I cannot see. The building is in the way. Okay. Just walking in here, I don't see no folks. No dudes. A little
No dudes.
spinneroonie.
Yeah, we don't see anything, do we?
I'm on the thing.
The
Is it supposed to be a back area in there?
yeah, just more of the
Okay.
chapel. The candles in the room are lit and look like they have been for a while. As you can see, the beginnings of wax building up around the bottom of the candlesticks. But all of the towels and such used for like religious ceremonies, whatever cloths, everything is folded and unused.
They wouldn't be using this. This is anathema to them. We're wasting our time.
alright? Let's go see where that was in. I'll follow you, y'all.
Probably into the main building.
Yeah.
I would think.
I guess we'll make our way over to the main building. I'll keep my head on a swivel.
Yeah, I'd like to make another perception check.
Sure. All are actively perceiving as you move up towards the front door.
Dirty 20.
Natural 20.
Natural
Or
20.
28.
dirty 20 and a natural 20 for a total of 28. I will say that both of you will notice the first sign that something is amiss.
Ooh.
And that by the front door, there is a person. Face down and one arm outstretched, moving away from the door.
Oh shit!
Can you God's flashlight the front door?
The one that's all orange.
So it's like someone was like reaching to try and escape, and they're dead on the ground.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I realized I did not place a model for this individual, so I will do that for context.
We got the sound effects for going across the
Hell yeah.
microphone.
I know. Man, I've never. It's like it's just sit there using your little arrows to move yourself along, man. You gotta get ready. Like Kronk. Dun.
So you guys approach Roderick. You don't see anything. You would sort of describe it as hearing or maybe feeling, and you're not sure which. It is something almost like a very high-pitched keening, like static from a tube TV that you can barely hear in the back of your head, or maybe it's an itch in the back of your head.
Right.
Yeah, there's some of those bricks definitely in there.
Well, we need to get in. But it seems like this poor fellow met a terrible fate. So there must be something with this door, because I'm not going to touch it.
With your perception check, I will say it is easy to tell that the position he is in, he was attempting to crawl away.
Oh, okay.
You will also notice with that natural 20 plus 8, there are no physical injuries on his body that you can see. It appears to be a castle servant, or a citadel servant.
Maybe we should try going in through a window or something.
I mean, looks like there's a couple of other entrances, side entrances.
God, there's so many like candle stuff. Damn, are all these like windows that we can see like here off to like the right and a little bit to the left? Are those actually there? They're actually, they don't even look like they have any glass or anything in them, but I assume they are not. They aren't just random openings.
Which ones? Like this
off.
one?
Yeah, like that and a little further down, like one more section of wall. There's a bit that just is like there's just a hole.
Oh yeah, no, those would have stained glass in them.
And the same for kind of off to the right in this corner.
Yeah, there's not going to be any just like randomly open windows that are not.
Alright, let's, I got an idea. For something we can do, let's just go over here to this nook, and if you guys can peek in that window for me and see if you see anything, we can come in all stealthy like.
Okay.
So Roderick, you're peering in that window?
No, I'm sitting down on the ground and starting to get ready to cast a ritual spell and ask my homies to look through the window.
Ask my homies to look through the window.
Gotcha. What ritual spell are you casting while they do so? And who is doing the window looking?
Silence.
Not me.
Silent smash.
I can. My perception's only a +2, but I can try.
Same.
It's gonna be a 19 perception.
Hey, good.
While
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say while she's checking the window and he's starting to cast that ritual spell, Alder's gonna kind of come up and crouch by this body, and I want to see if I can tell how long they've been dead.
Okay, make a medicine check.
Medicine. Okay. Continue with them, and let me know when you want that result.
Gotcha. With a 19, you look through, and it appears to be a like cooking area. I know it shows a bunch of magical implements, but again, I did very little modifying to this map. So those magical cauldrons are regular cauldrons.
Okay.
Magical ingredients are regular ingredients. This is the kitchen.
Okay.
The magical
no
lightning is regular
cooks.
lightning.
Magical lightning is regular lightning. It's just a normal kitchen.
Okay.
There are no staff or people inside that you can see.
Okay. I mean, Seraphina didn't expect there to be.
Apollinaire. He appears to have been dead for definitely less than a day. What was your medicine check again?
12.
12. All right. He has been dead for less than 8 hours.
It's not long. Okay. Just smile to himself before kind of meandering on back over to observe.
Also, no further evidence of any kind of physical damage to his body that you can see.
Gotcha. Actually, as I kind of wander over, just kind of stop and just snap fingers and cast Detect Magic again.
You detect the remnants, the last vestiges, if you will, of illusion magic on him.
On him?
Yes. On the body.
Is that the guy we're here to save? Just
No.
perchance? Okay, just making
No,
sure.
this
the
was
guy's
a,
like, oh shit, illusion, run! And they just killed him before
No,
he got
this
out.
is a. This seems to be just like a palace servant kind of guy, or like a. I keep saying palace servant, citadel servant. He actually would have been one of the staff of Michel Dupont.
Okay. Ruminate on the illusory effects that could kill somebody as he
So,
steps over
do
to observe.
you share that information with us?
Well, that's what I was going to ask if I could roll an Arcana check to see if I would know of any magic of like
Yes.
illusory magic that could kill somebody.
Yes, go ahead and roll it for me.
Big Arcana check.
Actually, roll it at advantage.
Cool. Okay, no, the first roll is still better. 17.
17. Having beat a 15, you would know because fiends sometimes use it. It is possible, with the right magic, to literally scare someone to death.
That's what I figured. Oh, phantasmal killer. Nice. Yeah, just kind of stroll over and thumb over at the dead guy. That fellow was scared to death. Magically, of course. No, you're knights of the circle to do things of that nature.
I thought they didn't like. Oh, that's not my accent. I thought they didn't like magic.
Just because they believe that those of us who use magic have stolen it from their rightful god, which is obviously, and she sort of motions over to Apollinaire. Not true.
Yes. They don't like other people doing magic.
For what it's
Them,
worth, they
it's
also
okay.
kill fiends.
Haven't killed me. Obviously.
Obviously.
So where are you placing that silenced spell there, Roderick?
Centered on this window that he's right next to.
Roddy.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say you are breaking the window. Or planning. Okay.
I'll take a quick peek to make sure no one walked in to grab a, midnight snack.
Right. Mission control, is there a way to teleport pieces?
You must delete them.
Just trying to get them inside.
Who's that?
You must. You must. You must.
Yeah,
Strike
right,
this down.
right in here.
Goodbye.
He said, you must gather your party before moving forward.
We don't have you actually inside yet, but if you will zoom/crop the building's walls away and explain to me what you are doing once you're inside.
I'm gonna look around and do so nonchalantly because this is still in the area of a silence, so they can't.
Yes.
Nobody can hear shit.
How
can't even
far
hear each
in
other.
does that go?
20 feet, I think.
Does that reach the door?
No.
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 I don't know. It gets a little piece of the door. I was in the door.
That's approximately the area that is silenced.
Gotcha. Yeah. Roderick start looking around the room. I'm a peek out the door. Little peeky peek. My fiend eyes see.
Make me a hold on, let me get.
In there.
Make me a perception check.
You got it, boss. I'm gonna roll my red and black die. Yeah. 5.
Okay.
Good one.
Coast is clear.
Fiend in your brain, still blind as fuck.
I choose to believe that Gormandace just wants to fucking scrap. So he's like, don't fucking worry about it, dude. Like, stop paying attention.
Board is live.
It's good.
Well,
I mean, we just gotta go. Like,
Yeah,
at this
it's,
point,
continue forward, right? If Seraphina's got the right of it, let's just keep moving.
You guys step out, and as you closer to the central hall, you can kind of see a foot, and then a body laying on the ground, and then more bodies.
Oh,
You realize
Dudes.
there are dozens, and they are all facing inward towards the center hall.
So they are. That's a lot of dead people.
yeah. The knights don't care about folks.
I am trying to remember how do you see things that you have hidden there, DM? It's alright, they're about to be not hidden, so there's no spoiling.
excuse me? I don't think there's anything here. Does
Thank you.
my spider sense tingle for
Intensely.
Oh,
His Roderick Tingle.
oh wait,
I think you might be some of those fellows nearby.
And you guys, he's saying, I think there might be someone nearby, and that is when you see towards the end of the hall several bannermen of the Knights of the Circle. 2 knights in their traditional creepy armor, and 1 gentleman in elaborately ornate clothing that you do not recognize. But one man you do recognize in a circle of what you hope is some kind of ink, candles, and various other occult implements. Mr. Antoine Delafosse, right here on the ground.
Is that okay? That's Antoine Delphos. Where's the other gentleman, the fancy looking dude? Oh,
We can't see him.
can anybody else see that? Okay, I cannot see whatever individual is meant to be in the middle.
I am unsure why. You should have clear line of sight.
Hold on. Where am I? Maybe we're just not close enough.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep, there we go. Had to move up a few squares. Oh, that's a fancy looking model.
Look at him.
Look at him. Look at him.
The one second. The other notable thing, sorry, I was checking a mission control message. Hovering over Antoine Delafosse is a crown. And it appears to be siphoning something. Wisps of insubstantial vapor is the best way you can think to describe it, are floating upwards from Antoine to the crown, and also from the edges of the kind of magical sigil pentagram thing that he is laying on, floating upwards into the crown. And the chanting seems to echo oddly in the room, not in a normal way, as a large, tall-ceilinged room like this you would expect, but almost overlaid with itself.
Have they noticed us? Can we make a check to see if they've noticed us?
The bannermen seem to,
Okay.
whereas the two knights and the gentleman in the center, whether or not they notice you, they are still eyes locked on Antoine
Okay.
at this moment, so far.
Does there appear to be a clear originator or like a person of origin for this crown thing?
What do you mean?
Like, does this appear to be a spell that one of the people in front of, like, over there is casting?
All three of them are chanting with a hand raised toward Antoine and or the crown.
Oh, so it seems to be part of like a ritual in that area then, right?
Yes, this is definitely a ritual of some kind, you can say, without having to roll any kind of checks.
Cool.
The crown being the most inexplicable part, as it is just floating and rotating slowly while weird dark vapor seems to seep into it from Antoine and the sigil.
But it does seem apparent that we are noticed, but they're more focused on their ritual than us.
Yes, like the bannermen kind of like lower their spears and kind of shield up in the same pose pretty much that they are in the models. But y'all, what are y'all's passive perceptions?
12.
18.
12.
Roderick, you will notice the gentleman in the center kind kind of cut his eyes up in y'all's direction, but then back to Antoine in the crown.
Man, that's in range, though. So,
The tingling on the back of your head has spread through most of your body at this juncture.
I'm blast. Seraphina, you are muted.
Sorry, I sneezed and forgot to unmute myself. I said, it's no time like the present. We must end this.
So, like I
Now.
said, Eldritch Blast, both portals opening up behind Fancy Guy.
All right.
Stab that hoe. Is something weird gonna happen, or do you want me to roll?
It definitely seems like a magical effect is emanating around these guys, right?
Yes, or at least the circle on the ground around them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you weren't gonna be like, no, don't bother. Okay. That's gonna be a 27 and a 24 to hit.
Both of those will hit. Roll your damage.
Okay. 6, 10. That's gonna be a total of 30 force damage.
What is that individually?
16 and 14.
You will notice this one and this one grunt and lurch
Which
forward.
one? Which ones? I'm sorry.
The first bannerman to the left and the right. Not the knights, but the bannerman.
Oh. And he does not seem to take any damage from the...
As the
Bolt
molten
spikes.
spike lances out at him, you see it strike his body, but then erupt out of the other side of the bannerman. And they lurch forward, blood gouting onto the ground, before the wound cauterizes shut. As you do that, he kind of closes his eyes and stops chanting. This is an inconvenient time. You should be going now. I'm in the middle of something. He speaks in an Altan dialect that is notably aristocratic, clipped, minimalist, and annoyed.
Well, I live to inconvenience. You're gonna start as I start kind of walking forward. Bonus action, cracking the cane into the floor, casting Shillelagh. That same kind of molten magic engulfing it.
The bannerman. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
I would ask Gaia,
Oi, can you throw me in there?
Yes, I can. I need to get closer.
Oh, Roderick starts running forwards.
You start to run forward. The knights also stop their chanting. And the vapor, the dark wisps coming off of Antoine Delafosse and the sigils around the ritual circle kind of solidifies. It's almost like motes of dust or bubbles or particles you've seen floating in water, just kind of hovering in the air in the vicinity. Or like fireflies of shadow, just kind of floating, glowing darkly, ebbing. And you will all roll initiative.
oh, do I get an action? Do we all get like a
I'll
pre-action?
give you a full round. I'll give you each an action, exactly.
Okay.
I will say that Apollinaires was his attack.
Yeah, I figured. I figured.
In the, cinematic charge, I would just like Roderick to say something along the lines of,
Well, that's enough for that shit. Pretty boy, you need to get the fuck out of here. And his chest.
explodes with light with spirit guardians.
Hell yeah. You are spiritly guardianed.
Holy shit!
What?
Fuck music.
Yeah, this music is intense.
Oh.
I think Seraphina would have run up to like here and pulled out her bow. And just would get ready for the rest of the team to move forward.
So your action is to move up. Roderick's action is to move up. Apollinaire's action is to shoot. Gaia, what is your action?
Guy is going to move up.
The DM is going to lose all of his ink pens. All of them. That'll be my action. Has everyone got their initiative rolled?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, and I should have pre-rolled theirs, and I did not.
This fucking goddamn! I feel like we're about to fight a Dark Souls boss. What the fuck? Oh.
Alright,
Quarter
25 to 20. 20 to 15. 18. Gaia said
19.
18. 19 for Seraphina.
15 for Apollinaire.
What was that, Apollinaire?
15.
15 to 10.
13.
Nice. Nobody in the single digits. Yay! We did good.
So far, so good. Fight's going great, guys. Keep it up.
Damn it. Yeah, we rolled initiative and nobody was below a 10.
The give me a quick perception check from each of you.
18.
Yo, fuck you, Cody. You keep eating up on my natural 20s. I need to use these in combat.
13.
You're muted, Christopher.
9.
9. Anyone who beat a 15 would have seen a flash of yellow in the gentleman in front of you in his eyes. Roderick, you would have noticed just for a moment slitted pupils.
What?
And actually, Seraphina, I was getting ready to make y'all roll for it, but it occurred to me you probably would have at least seen this man since you dealt extensively in the kind of courts of Griffin. This man is the leader of the local group of the Knights of the Circle. His name is Ciron Treviso, High General of the Knights of the Circle of Eternity.
High General, so he's the boss.
He answers directly to their High Priest.
Oh, he answered a Pope.
What was that title?
Ciron Treviso, High General of the Knights of the Circle of Eternity.
Okay.
He goes first in initiative, draws his sword casually, but he doesn't move towards you, and just kind of offhandedly gestures at your group and says, "Take care of him. you may find they prove difficult to kill. Seraphina, it is your turn.
Okay. I've already pulled out my bow, and I'm going to. I should be within range of all these guys, but I think I'm just going to start trying to pick them off. And did I notice that when Apollinaire used the Eldritch Blast, that it hurt the other people and not the one it originally hit?
His spells are very visually spectacular. It was a molten spike. I will say that was pretty easy to see that it entered him and then exited one of the soldiers who lurched.
So then, yeah, I'm gonna start just trying to pick off the people in the corners. So I'm gonna aim for. Let's see if you guys can. I'm gonna aim for this guy here.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Sorry. All right. Does a 17 plus 7, whatever that is, 24? Does a 24 hit?
You the DM.
Yes, a 24 will hit.
Great.
Nice.
1d8 plus 2. 8 points of piercing damage.
He takes the arrow in stride. So you can see they are gearing up to make their move on you. He takes the arrow, definitely feels it, but this appears to be a hardened soldier, accustomed to pain and injury.
Right. Okay. And then I feel like I'm gonna need it. I'm going to call out to Roderick and say, Roderick, we have to end this faster than we thought. And that is a bardic inspiration for ya, my guy.
Bruce.
It's a D8 now.
Hell yeah. Let me set
And
this
that
to
will
the
be
side.
the end of my turn.
Gaia. Things are starting to go down. What are you doing?
All right. Let's see. If Gaia moves 25 forward, right there. 90, which Roderick, we're putting you in the middle of that circle. Is that what you want?
Yep.
Then your wish is my command.
She says while
And-
casting on top of a dead dude.
Vortex
As
works
you wish.
Roderick to is right yeah.
Vortex Warp is such a lame spell, I can't imagine ever using it.
I know, right?
All right. Let's
Imagine.
everybody hold your breath. Okay, we're good. I did not magically surge.
Yo, those guys gonna have a bad first round, huh?
Oh,
Indeed.
know.
Does Spirit Guardians take effect on their turn?
Yeah, it's not immediately, so it's whenever it comes to their turn. That's what the issue was that we had the last time. Or
Gotcha.
probably every time anyone uses Spirit Guardians.
Yeah.
Alright.
On their turn, when they enter or start their turn.
Go
They
ahead
enter
and roll that
first.
damage so that I can affect them or not affect them by it. On their turn.
all I got.
Got the energy top knot. Wow!
I'm focusing all my tiredness in the top knot.
That's how it works. It just slurps up.
Mhm.
Big facts.
Big bucks.
Alright, what was that damage?
17.
17.
All of them are dead.
8
Can't
and
pay
1.
number.
Yeah.
And what's the DC to beat?
Blah, 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 16. Unless that shield gave me like, it increased to my DC or something.
They take varying amounts of damage as they are burned by the absolute maelstrom surrounding you. You will notice the air striking Siron appears to get stopped millimeters away from his body, and the two immediately next to him that had originally been damaged both die.
Oh.
They just took like quadruple damage. It's like, eh!
Oh shit, the spell effects! That's the first time I'm seeing that. Fucking awesome.
That is pretty fucking cool, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you,
Can you-
Tailspire. You're doing the Lord's work.
Can you change the colors on it? Am I asking too much already?
That will bring us to the not dead ones' turns. Following the orders, their leader, the person who just teleported in the way, they will, kind of pushing against the force of the fire itself, kind of move in on you, surrounding you. Which I know is just not what you wanted.
Oh, goodness me. I'm fucked.
Don't into the briar patch.
They did that.
No.
What is your AC right now?
24.
Holy shit, that misses. Not a single hit, as each of them make 2 attacks against you. 2 of them getting very close with 23s. 2 23s.
Goodness.
But neither of them actually lands a blow. Apollinaire, it is your turn.
Man.
You can see them standing in the middle of the fire, clearly in pain and burning, but obeying the orders of their general.
What a predicament. What a predicament indeed. Okay, so those 2 died already, so they seem to have taken overflow. Did any of that damage, did any of it seem to leak into more of them?
Just the 2
Just
that
those 2?
died. Yeah, they clearly were getting a double dose of some kind.
Okay. As much as I wanna. Also want to do another thing, so I will do that instead. Let me just double check the range on something. Probably need to. Where'd I go? I've lost myself. In more ways than one.
Lost the meaning.
Just gonna calmly walk 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet. Which will put me we'll just do I like right there. I think in that square. Just gonna kind of let the cane go from being, kind of holding it like a sword to kind of let it rotate to where he's holding it, point down again, and just let some of that almost molten metal drip from the hand down the cane and onto the floor. And as it kind of falls onto the floor, he's just gonna kind of call out, "Come on and feast." I'm gonna cast Summon Aberration into that square I marked, where as I cast it, just another just a puddle seems to kind of bubble up with that same kind of molten. It's clawing its way up and out is this skeletal, like grotesquely thin figure. Like you can see all the joints and bones has overly long fingernails that almost seem like the skin has been chipped away from the ends. It's just these long, sharp.
You were
claws.
going in and out on your mic.
Oh no, you should said that earlier. But grotesquely thin figure pulls itself up out of this hole.
All right, this creature I'm getting ready to give you may not be accurate to what you described,
I don't care.
but it will be visually unique and yours.
I will have to check my.
I'm just imagining Cody putting a unicorn on there.
There it is, right here. Place it wherever you would like.
My Skype mic
Within
may
range.
have got
Oh, it's a method
assigned.
or an imp or something.
Yeah, that I actually have my bonus action. Where'd you put it? Put it in my.
God's
my-
flashlight.
Yes. And it gets to act on its on turn. I summon, correct?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm still sounding really crap.
Yes. You are. It is like you are constantly peeking.
Oh, I have no clue. What's going on with that? It hasn't been doing that earlier, has it?
No.
It just started when you summoned this creature.
Oh.
So yes, you can. If it works the same way Summon Shadow Spawn does, then it acts on the turn that you summon it.
Yes. I'm gonna tweak my mic settings as we go, and if it gets better, somebody say something in the chat. If not, I'm just going to roll numbers for the moment until I figure it out. Yeah, it's gonna make.
Sound
But-
a little bit better right now. Maybe it's
Oh,
just
that-
your
I'll-
tone of voice or volume.
I have no idea. I did just tweak something. I turned off the automatic adjust and started messing with the slider. So I will keep doing
Okay.
that. In the meantime, it is going to immediately walk up and try to just shove both claws into the back of the one directly in front of it. So those attacks are going to be my spell attack to hit. Hell yeah. Dab.
Which kind did you summon?
I summoned the Slod.
Gotcha.
So,
All right.
to be aberration technically.
Right. Yeah.
appearance, or
Right. I just meant
fiendish.
mechanically.
Yeah.
Mechanically.
That is a 22 on the first claw
Nice.
and a 29 on the second claw.
Let's go.
Those will hit.
Okay, and so those are going to be 1d10 plus 7 per claw. Ooh. So do you need them individually or you just want it all together?
All together.
All together, so that's 7, 14, 23, 29 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
The fiendish creature that you have summoned from your domain, reaching through the void, just takes its claws and just
Yep.
completely perforates this guy like Swiss cheese. He collapses.
Wonderful. Just lets out a and then is there behind them. Hopefully not taking radiant damage. I don't know how Roderick's feeling.
And there's probably a oh okay. It's
It is
killing
still-
the guy. It's not helping him. You're cool.
Stabbed him like 19 times in the chest. I'd say that counts.
Dab on the haters.
That your turn there, Apollinaire?
That is my turn for the moment.
Roderick.
Well, I've kind of had this thing that Roderick's sort of done this whole campaign that keeps happening over and over. Is that crown still there?
Yes.
I'm
It is still hovering, kind of just gently rotating over Antoine's chest. About 3 or 4 feet off the ground.
What's Antoine doing right now? Is he like in any is he like drunk or hurt or?
He appears unharmed, but roll me a medicine check.
Sure. Oh, that was almost real good. 14 total.
He is not dead. Any other details are hard to tell in the heat of combat.
But he's unconscious then?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He is breathing shallowly, I will say that, but appears unwounded.
Okay. In that case, I will use my action to see if I can't just fucking booming blade the dog shit. Well, I guess you can't you have to booming blade a creature, so I will just melee attack the crap out of this crown and attempt to just smack it over to the west if it has any give in the air.
Gotcha. Make your attack roll. Go ahead and roll attack and damage.
Attack and damage. That's 22 for the attack.
Cool. If you're not one, you were just gonna fucking watermelon Antoine's head.
No.
That would be unfortunate.
Scary.
So, okay. So it takes a total of 9 bludgeoning damage and 5 fire damage. Does it move at all? Just giving it one of these to the side. Be gone.
As you slam your hammer into it, and it's just a regular hammer, right?
It's on fire, but because of.
But I mean, it's
Right.
not like adamantium or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a blacksmith, same way.
It doesn't completely shatter, but you feel, as much as you can see and hear, a flash of light and a shockwave that throws your arm backward off of the crown, and you all hear a sound, a kind of a chime that reverberates through the entire building and your bones. Roderick, to you specifically, the chime sounds almost angelic. To the rest of you, it is just a chime. Your hammer is now riddled with cracks and almost broken. A resilient, small-sized object has about 10 hit points. You just dealt 9 points to it. It did not suffer the fire damage.
Okay. So is, I guess, to elaborate on that more, did it seem like this crown itself was angelic in nature, or the act of defying like its force resulted in an angelic chime to Roderick?
Make me an Arcana check at advantage.
Sure.
Woo! Arcane knowledge. Yeah.
Dude, that's a 17 and a 20 for.
Like a nat
Let
20?
me crit. Yeah, let me crit in combat.
No.
So that's a total of 21.
You recognize at the moment of impact that energy that is so appealing and so tantalizing to you is coming from the crown itself.
Okay, so I almost broke something that's very good then. Okay.
The best way I can think of it, I realize I haven't necessarily been using the right words. You felt a resonance, a positive resonance to it.
Okay. So it felt like I positively had a positive affinity with this thing that I just smacked the shit out of.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Violence is the answer.
It does not seem to have been harmed at all. Your hammer, however, is riddled with cracks.
Okay, so it is completely fine.
It did not even budge or stop rotating.
Oh, okay. Okay, I understand now. Gotcha.
I see.
All right. Well then, so is my weapon in danger of breaking if I continue to use it?
Not if you use it regularly.
Okay. Well,
The fact that the hammer took damage was due to extraordinary circumstances.
Sure. Yeah, in that case, knowing that very obvious effect on the main guy there, I will bonus action summon spiritual weapon right behind dude to the east's head and bonk him with it.
Sure. Mission control, you want to get that spiritual weapon up there? For me?
Summons
Thank you.
on deck. Let's go.
There are lots of
Everybody,
summons
summon
getting dropped here.
everything.
So the attack roll is a 25.
25 will hit. Roll your damage.
6 force damage. The big
6.
one. And that is my turn.
You will see this guy right here. Where God's flashlight is.
Uh-huh.
As the hammer collides with the back of Siron's head, that guy's helmet caves in, and you can see him start to kind of wobble in place.
Oh. From attacking the knight over here? This guy?
Oh, I thought you were attacking Siron. I misheard you. What was the damage?
It was 6 force.
Alright, yeah, no. He is struck normally.
Kong. That's my turn.
I will say, without rolling any checks, Roderick,
Uh-huh.
that same kind of anger and
Yeah.
sense of purpose that you felt when you fought the first Knight of the Circle and the, I guess, the Helmed Warrior, both of those encounters, you do feel that, but to a lesser degree towards these two.
Gotcha.
Whatever aspect that fueled your fire in the most explosive way possible is present to a lesser degree here.
I mean, I feel like the real thing to do would be to try and whittle down these smaller ads to have better action economy, but I figure Roderick probably has a big hate boner for the knight guys just internally, so those guys need to get attacked first.
Your AoE is, I believe, as the kids say, doing work.
Yeah. Okay, that's my turn.
The neither knight seems affected by the fire whirling around them.
Okay.
It will
Not
move
even-
forward though.
Is it save or suck or save for half?
Save for half. But I think they're like immune to magic stuff.
Right.
Well, not immune because they did kind of get bonked by her hammer, but
Oh, right.
they move forward, not immune to the movement reducing effects as they kind of push their way through the heat, buffeting them backwards, and each of them will attempt to hurt you, as people do. The first one,
Rude of them.
attempting to slam his open palm into you.
Don't do that.
Bro. They're armored monks. Cheating.
And I need you to make me a... Nope, that is not a saving throw at the moment.
Okay.
You feel sick, almost, as if you've been touched by the most vile substance. As where his palm struck you in your shoulder, you see a wriggling, sooty sigil on your armor. On your body, I guess. It is writhing.
Is that
Ugh.
some sort of spell type ability that he's using?
You actually have been subject to this before.
Yeah.
You are subject to a mark of sealing. For the next minute, you
Right.
have to...
Is that like a magical ability he's using on me?
an anti-magic ability of sorts.
Okay. I just didn't know if I could reflect it on him.
No, not this.
Okay.
You will have to make a saving throw each round to maintain concentration, or
Okay.
any time that you cast a new spell.
Gotcha.
It will be, I say to maintain concentration, to keep a spell active. So at the top of your turn, you'll need to roll 2, 1 for your spiritual weapon, 1 for Spirit Guardian.
But they are specifically concentration checks?
They will function like concentration checks, even the one for the Spirit.
Well, I have
spiritual weapon.
Warcaster, so do I get advantage on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The other one
A dub.
goes to give you the old chop.
Oh, the slap chop.
His first attack misses. His second attack hits. You take
Ooh.
12 points of slashing damage.
Jesus. All right.
It's a great sword, and you rolled almost max.
Wait. No. Why did my help? Max HP stop.
That will be their turn.
All right.
For his part, this takes us back to the start of initiative, and Siron simply steps outward and watches. Seraphina, it is your turn.
You are muted, by the way.
I was just mumbling to myself distances, so I did not say anything witty or funny at all. Beautiful. So, Seraphina, I'm gonna pull out her trusty bird pipes, and everybody knows the note that she hits when she casts Shatter, and I'm going to upcast it to a 3rd level. And I'm going to do my best not to hit Roderick, so like sort of center it. Oh goodness. Like that, right?
Don't forget
that'll
about
hit us.
the guy on the ground is safe there.
I mean, Seraphina's a monster, it's fine.
Good.
And yeah, I'm gonna cast Shatter. So I can't remember how many dice.
What is your spell save DC?
14.
If you're upcasting it to 3rd level, you'll roll 4d8. It's 3d8 plus 1
Yep.
per spell level that you increase it.
8, 4d8. Okay. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 6 is 16, plus 5 is
21.
21
Hell
points
yeah.
of damage.
Hell yeah. Indeed.
21 total.
Correct.
They both collapse as cracks appear in their armor. clutching at their heads and chests as they go down. Yeah.
And
You also see the column right here seems to suffer some significant structural damage from that as well.
and then I'm going to turn my head around to Apollinaire, because I think you're with. Are you within range of my bardic?
I am 38, or so I'm about 40 feet away from you. 35, 40 feet.
I always forget the distance. Give me a sec.
It's either 30 or 60. I can't remember which.
I think it's 60. Well, regardless, if somebody's going to be pokey about it, they can be pokey about it. I turn my head towards Apollinaire and go.
It is
You just
60
have to
feet.
end. Okay, so then yeah, we're within range, and I go. Monsters must end things when they're hard. And then you have your D8.
Hell yeah. Gib D8.
And that ends my turn, friends.
Gaia, you saw those two go down. The number of people surrounding Roderick is rapidly shrinking, although all of these guys are dying like fucking foot off the ground.
Hit me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Alright, and from there, Gaia gonna be dropping her mom at 4th level. That is not where.
We brought our own front line.
You did. Where is your mother manifesting?
Gonna manifest right there.
Bam.
Yeah. And then, that is the end of Gaia's turn, but
What is she doing on her turn?
she is going to, can get rid of that measurement. She is going to bonus action Misty Step right here, so she gets advantage on her next attack. She's fuming. She is going to make her first attack against the gentleman who's right in front of her. So let's see. Yeah. That's 2 nat ones.
No shot. No shot.
Bruh.
Bro, we gotta go get some like dice like consecrated for you or something. We're going to Rome.
Okay, so Tailspire dice. Not gonna do that one.
I want. Are you keeping track of her hit points?
Mm-hmm.
I hope it does
Roderick.
fire damage.
Yeah, Roderick, go ahead and roll your Spirit Guardian's damage for this round, and she's going to be subject to it.
Oh, okay.
Rip.
Boom, 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 boom.
Mama!
The explanation for this, Chris, you summoned her at 4th level. You're calling on a lot of power right now, and you don't have as much control over her as you think. And the protective nature of Roderick's Spirit Guardians recognized the hostility as she turned to go for Roderick instead of the knight and was burned before you managed to seize control of her again and get her back under your thumb.
On the bright side, you got a second attack, right?
I do. That's why I brought it up to this 4th.
Oof.
So she's down to 22 out of 40.
God damn.
All right. Let's see if D&D Beyond what. Hey, Cody. You want to take a
Yes.
guess at what I just rolled?
Did you just roll another nat 1?
Either that or a nat 20, I'm guessing.
I just rolled another fucking nat 1.
That's just not possible.
Two
Stop
or one
rolling
natural
D&D
one.
Beyond.
So the
Me and
first
Chris are
roll,
the yin and yang of tonight.
the first roll
What is
was in
happening?
Tailspire.
Uh-huh.
That gave
Stop
me
rolling
2
digital.
natural ones.
Uh-huh.
And then I said, okay, fuck Tailspire's dice. I'm gonna go to D&D Beyond.
Uh-huh.
Also gave me a nat 1.
Was it at advantage?
She only gets it for 1.
So your roll was just a nat 1.
3
So I
nat
have
ones in a
rolled
roll.
3 nat
That is
ones.
statistically improbable.
My head hurts.
I'm tired, boss.
That is a lot. That is 3 nat 1s in a row, functionally, Chris.
Does she go poofies? Does she go poofies?
No.
No, I wouldn't imagine. I figured it would be worse.
Oh, does she just do what she want?
You do not have control over your mother,
Yeah, that's fair.
and you cannot end your concentration on her. Your concentration is free. She is a liberated creature.
That is a 0.463% chance.
Hey,
Just
I'm getting some lotto tickets tomorrow, baby.
1 in 8,000.
goodness.
I will be rolling at random every round to see who your mother attacks.
Hey, she's only got 22 health. Can't be
My
that
son will
bad,
do what
right?
must be done.
She just took 18, so
Very well.
There's one remaining bannerman.
this guy's like, maybe this job ain't all what it cracked out to be.
It is irrelevant. The spirit guardians, the aura of fire around you just overwhelms him, and he collapses, dropping to one knee, holding onto his spear haft, and then just kind of falling over as he is functionally goes through every stage of heat stroke in 18 seconds. All right, Apollinaire.
Wow.
I gotta come up with new dead bodies because those floating in the air are driving me crazy, but I do want to actually have bodies on the field, so.
Yada 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 yada. Oh man. Well, all his bannermen are dead. So Apollinaire is gonna continue to advance. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. As he does so, just stepping forward and just cracking the cane against the floor twice as he does so. Eldritch Blast 2 portals opening up on the ground right next to Fancy Dude in the back. Spikes coming up.
Sounds good. These people I'm dropping are just placeholder bodies for keeping track of shit.
Whew. Hope his AC isn't great. And I'm glad I have a stupid attack bonus right now.
All right. I know what you did. What was your attack?
It was a 21 and a 19 respectively.
And they're both at Siron.
Yes.
Both of those hit.
Fantastic. Oof. 11 and 14 points of force damage.
11 and 14.
Total of 25.
Yeah.
Do they seem to hit him?
Yes, each one kind of like rocking his body. None of them hitting anything vital. You're having a hard time hitting anything important, but you are seeing where it is burning and gouging. He does not seem to be wearing armor.
Cool. And so does he seem perturbed by this, or is he just like taking it?
He does seem to be in pain, but he seems
Cool.
more frustrated and angry than afraid.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Well, there's another summon, and Roderick seems to be handling those two knight guys. So the summon is then just going to it like scooped out some like bits of meat off the one it killed, and it just kind of like before kind of like almost like dropping into a hunch and like almost like Wolverine running with fucking arms out to the side at him. 20. Swoop. And is going to try to stab him. Try to stab him a couple times. Hey, yeah,
Stab him.
oof. One of those is a natural 1. The other is a 28.
The 28 will hit. The natural one, unfortunately, does
Unfortunately,
miss.
not just getting, I don't even know, hung up on a piece, like loose piece of cobblestone or something. It trips, recovers, stab.
What is the creature's AC?
The creature's AC is 15.
The first attack missing, he does kind of dodge and parry, slamming his sword into it for 11 points of magical piercing damage. Or non-magical piercing damage.
Right. All right. He does take 10 points of slashing for the claw that does hit. And let me double check. When does it heal? It heals at the start of its turn. Okay. So just taking the slice, kind of recoiling before going back in and clawing up his side.
He does have a big bloody gash all up his side now, where the claws just rake through it. And Edward Scissorhands wounds going on. That will bring us to, if that's the end of your turn.
Yeah, he's just waiting for it. He's just smiling big. Just seems to be loving this.
Takes us to Roderick.
Well, I'm just mosey on up, right? And move that that AOE up a couple of steps to get Mr. Man in there again. And the same guy that I originally bunked, I'm gonna try and give him a blade of the booming, which I understand I need to make a concentration check for Spirit Guardians. Do I need to make a concentration check for Spiritual Weapon as well?
Yes.
Okay.
God damn.
What is the DC? Like a standard concentration check DC?
The DC is 14.
14? Okay, so Spirit Guardians is still good. Spiritual Weapon, super good. And then I'm about to smack this guy with a booming blade. Okay, so that is good as well. It's a 14 on the dice without any bonuses. And then so the attack roll on this dude is a 17 plus 5. Does 22 hit? Okay.
Yeah.
So he will take all of these dice the damage. Well, I mean, I don't know. I might have all kinds of resistances or something. So that is. Do you want me to break them down for you?
Nope.
Okay. So it is a total of 19 damage.
You feel the crunching of bones and sinews underneath your hammer as you strike his shoulder, and it just.
Ugh.
He shouts in pain.
Is he still alive?
Yep.
I'm gonna look back over at my shoulder at the spiritual weapon and get it to bonk Fancy Pants and see if it does any damage to one of these other two guys. But I roll a 2, so it probably doesn't hit. It's like I think it's like a 8 or 10 or something total.
Did I misunderstand? Were you attacking with that booming blade? Was that on one of the knights or on Siron?
It was on one of the knights, the one that's directly. Sorry,
Gotcha.
Right. This guy right here.
Okay, my bad. Yeah. Less affected, not the crunching in shoulder and shouting in pain. Just
Okay.
there's a clang of hammer on metal that time.
Bong.
And unless Fancy Pants is an AC of 10, my spiritual weapon misses.
No, but it doesn't miss by much.
Okay. Wait, can you add? You can't add to attack rolls with Bardic Inspiration, can you?
Yes, you can.
Oh, you can.
Sure. This will probably not bite me in the ass when I really need to make it. I'll hang on to it.
Okay.
So you never know one of
You
those.
never
You
know.
never know.
What are you worried about
Never
rolling
know.
3 nat 1s in a row?
Yes. Pretty much.
Bardic Inspiration don't help with that one, dog. That's all I'm saying. You roll that one. That's a natty 1.
It's a natty 1.
Goodness.
It's a natty 1.
Take your natty 1s.
The knight's turn, and both of them make 2 attacks. The one that you just hit missing with his first swing, but hitting with the second one.
Jesus.
But they don't want to hit my mom.
That is 8 points of slashing, so much lower than the other one.
Okay.
The other one grips his sword and barks something in a language you don't recognize, and you see a black fire race up his sword before he goes to hit you.
Okay.
And hit you he does with his first attack, but misses with the second. And as he strikes you, the black fire seems to detonate against you. You take 7 points of slashing
All right.
and 12 points of necrotic.
All right.
The fire is gone from his sword. Neither one of them moves. That was 18 on your Spirit Guardian's damage.
Yes, sir.
They continue to burn.
Nice.
This brings us... This will be the last round before we call it for the evening.
Okay.
Frustrated, snarling, he turns and takes his drawn blade, a slender courtroom affair, and makes attacks against
My
the
beastie.
aberration.
The fiend, okay.
What's the AC to hit?
It's only 15. Not
Okay,
super high.
both.
We have the same twinning.
Between both attacks that hit, that is 11 points of damage.
Alright. He's
Um,
soaking.
Just kind of stabbing at it with, a sword.
That's rude. It screeches
It is.
in response. It's
Um,
unnerving, probably. I don't know. Maybe he's got an iron will. This should actually really be pissing him off. Don't these guys hate fiendish shit? They should be like, die, beast.
Yeah, it seems very angry right now, or he does. Siron does.
Good.
Stay
mad.
What is your DC to beat for your Spirit Guardians again?
16.
16. You see his nice courtly clothes beginning to singe, and you can see burns appearing on his face and arms.
Hell yeah.
It is Seraphina's turn.
Yeah.
Real quick, did he not take damage from Spirit Guardians on his first turn?
Was he in
What do you mean
range
his
the
first
first
turn?
turn?
Well, in his previous turn, like he stepped out of it. Did he not take damage when he started his turn in it?
The other dudes were still alive and they took it for him. Remember?
Oh, okay, understood.
They were soaking for him.
I would like to either, I don't know if it's a religion or an insight, something, before I pull out this arrow to determine whether or not this is the thing that I'm supposed, like this man is who I'm supposed to use it on.
You don't sense or feel any guidance whatsoever at this juncture.
Okay, so I don't even, okay. Shit, okay. I am going to move up to, okay. I would like to, damn it. Delafos is smack dab in the middle there. Can't beat that.
He's in there.
Yeah.
Like swimwear.
Okay. Sorry guys. What I would like to do then is, I'm just gonna use my bow and roll to hit this guy. Not with the special arrow, just the regular, arrow.
Got it.
Math is hard. 17 to hit.
And you're shooting Siron or one of the knights?
I'm
Yeah.
shooting Siron.
Yeah, I'll say like he would have had some cover from the knight and Gaia's mom, but that still hits by a lot.
Okay.
Because even with the half cover bonus, that beats his AC.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Nice.
D8. That one is to the ether. Roll different dice. That is only going to be 7 points of damage, of piercing damage. And then, Gaia, where are you? Are you within?
I am right here.
Okay, you are within my bardic, and so then my bonus action will just be to shout back to you. I believe in everything that we're doing, including you. We will get this done. And I will end my turn.
You see Siron beginning to crumple, the arrow striking him in his rib cage, and he is not moving as limberly as he was. He is gritting his teeth and fighting the summoned fiend with one hand clutching at the arrow in his rib cage, trying to fight it off with his other arm. He is starting to crumple.
Starting to what?
Crumple.
Crumple. Got it, boss.
Gaia, it's your turn.
Alright. Guys, gonna be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Check something. And for the first time in this campaign, she is going to cast Tasha's Mind Whip.
Hell yeah. Whip his mind!
He must make an intelligence saving throw. I hope he's a smart Bernie boy.
He is not smart enough.
Not smart enough.
Poggers. Alright,
Can I get
you
a
know what?
bug?
You know what? I've been wronged by the fucking technology. Surely,
Shiny rock, go click clack, Christopher.
surely, Shiny Rock will not fail me
Impossible.
where technology has failed me. All right, 3d6.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Shiny Rock did not fucking fail me. That is 16 points.
Nice.
16, you said?
Yeah, I rolled a 6, a 6, and a 4.
Nice.
And on his next turn, he chooses whether he moves, takes an action, or bonus action. But he only gets one.
It is unsure if he will get one as he collapses to all fours and begins coughing blood. Apollinaire, it is your turn.
Beat his ass.
Question. So does my fiend does my summon does it have to go after me, or is it? I think it does. Rules. Is written, right?
It says rules is written, but I know in the past, in I think all 3 campaigns, we have ruled it can go anywhere on your turn. So
Okay, because I want to see kind of what the results of its turn are, because he goes down on all fours and it's just gonna like grab him and just start ripping at him with like filed teeth for its 2 attacks.
gotcha. Nat 20.
One of them is a natural 20 and a 19 on the dice.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
I want to know. Yeah, so for the natural 20, it's going to be... The natural 20 will be 17 plus whatever is on this D10, right?
Yes.
24 on the crit. And 9 on the non-crit. So a total of 36 slashing damage. Is it just ripping chunks out of him with its teeth and just like swallowing them? Like ravenously eating him alive.
As it tears out parts of his
Also, he has
neck,
a little bit.
throat, back, spewing blood onto the floor beneath him, convulsing horrendously, can't even scream or react, and is soon just a twitching carcass on the floor as the fiend begins eating him, not alive anymore.
Not alive anymore. Started out eating him alive. Okay, sick. So then Apollinaire is going to do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And let me double check. Yeah. He is the Gormandeus side is wanting to get in a little bit, is going to start to take another step forward and just fleetingly in that same kind of molten metal, like his entire body kind of transposes into. Gonna misty step to right there, coming out of it, solidifying, swinging the cane shillelagh for a green flame blade. At that
Oh, yeah.
Take 18 points right. No, I'm kidding.
Ah! I had a wisdom save, and I have a D8.
While you do that, Cody, I'm going to send you the Fey Spirit stat block, just so you can have it for
I'm gonna
beating my allies.
add my bardic inspiration to that, unfortunately. Okay, there we go. So with the bardic inspiration, up to a 22.
I forgot that the spirit was supposed to go on Gaia's turn. I went ahead and rolled those attacks against Roderick. Neither one hit. Merry Christmas.
Ding, ding.
It is now evident to everyone that it is not being controlled, though, as it is screeching and clawing at Roderick.
Right.
Did it fail its wisdom save?
Oh, yeah. No, the fuck it did not.
So it takes 9.
Okay, so then it's 13 hopeful.
I thought you said it had 22.
It had 22, right? So
Yeah.
22 minus 9 is...
It took the first round whenever it was summoned.
Right.
Yeah, it should be down to 14 hit points right now. 40 minus
13.
18 minus 9.
Oh, I thought you said it had 22.
After the
Like
18.
after the
No.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So does a 22 hit the Knight's AC?
Yes.
So 22 just coming up and just going to just cave in his ribs with this cane that is engulfed in flame. It's 18 points of bludgeoning damage. Very disappointing 1 point of fire.
How much was bludgeoning and how much was fire?
18 bludgeoning, 1 fire.
That was up to the one on the right.
Yeah, that was the one directly in front of me, and I'm gonna say most of the fire damage, it kind of courses up and immediately like launches, like it's almost like it's a living like creature seeking it out, like jumping onto the other knight for the bounce. I hate it here. I don't like that particular D8 for only 11 points of fire damage.
11 for
The second, the one for the bounce.
the bounce. I didn't realize you rolled for that.
I just did. I just
No, I'm saying
rolled
I didn't
ones
realize
on
that
both.
that was rolled. I thought it was flat.
It starts off flat, but it's when you it gains dice later.
The one you clocked with your fire shillelagh
Mm-hmm.
seems to be struggling to keep his footing.
Just slams into it, the fire jumping over. He's just grinning, standing amongst a bunch of corpses, and it feels so deliciously fresh in the flesh.
You feel the resistance of the Knights of the Circle, their magic or whatever it is, withstanding yours, but your fire is just too overwhelming as this one gets bludgeoned to death. Doesn't quite go down, but you can feel their defenses crumbling underneath your onslaught.
Fantastic. That's my turn.
Roderick, it is your turn. I will say, as Siron goes down, even as he is being consumed by the fiend, you feel an overwhelming surge in that presence, that eldritch energy that makes you so very angry.
Oh.
It is rising and does not stop, starting with his death.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out.
Oh.
Boss form 2.0, my guy.
He can't do that. That's cheating.
That's not fair.
That's no fair. He can't do that. He can't do that.
So
can he?
I went ahead and pre-rolled my stuff. Funnily enough, I don't know why Jones got rid of Spirit Guard or my spiritual weapon, but I did fail the
It just loaded
concentration for it, so it's gone anyway.
He had the premonition.
Yeah, the premonition. But Spirit Guardians is still A-okay, and the guy that's on his last leg, I'm gonna give him this good old standard booming bonking.
The booming bonk, yes, that spell.
Yes.
Booming bonk.
Well, let me crit on the other guy. So that guy's dead. I don't really need to roll that out. That guy just took 4d, or I guess he just took a lot of damage. Because I got a d6 fire, a d6 bludgeoning, and a d6 sonic. Plus 4.
Isn't it D8s for?
Or I'm sorry,
blood?
d8 sonic. Yeah, d8 sonic.
Sonic.
No, he is dead.
Okay, cool.
Because that was a crit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Super
turn around
dead.
and you strike him with your hammer, and maybe you are being, starting to feel that just battle crazy drive that you've experienced in fighting these guys in the past, because when you land that hammer on him, you just like his pieces of his armor fly off, and you all see an actual visible shockwave as the guy flies like 10 feet back on impact.
God damn.
Hey.
Slapped.
Just it goes right over Apollinaire, just flips several times, bits of metal steaming in all directions, and then collapses behind you.
Yeah. That was the guy that branded me. Is the brand still going?
Yes.
Brand's still going. Okay.
He can't.
I mean, I can feel it.
Somebody get some like steel wool or something. Just kind
Yeah, buff this out
of
real
buff
quick.
it out real quick.
All right. Yeah. I will just angrily scream at this guy.
Your gods are false. I'll send you to them like the rest.
I fuck with this energy.
And square up with him, but that I have no more action. I have no more bonus action. I'm not gonna cast another spiritual weapon in this. Does it feel like the guy that just died behind me with this anger that's burning inside of me, like he's about to go to like a phase 2 boss fight, like something's happening with him, or does it seem like his death has just like been more like a victory surge or something?
If you think of your sense for these kinds of things as like one of those like radiation readers,
Right.
like
Oh,
crack
okay.
crackle.
So it just went.
When he died, the crackle went from like a low grade kind of hum to like the needle on the gauge is popping off the chart.
Then I will cast another spiritual weapon. It does go through, and a 19 plus 8, so 27 to smack hit this guy, and that is 10 damage force.
You're just hitting the corpse.
You're
You're
muted.
very muted.
Sorry, excuse me, the other guy next to me.
Oh, the knight. Got it.
The
yeah.
still standing knight, correct.
How much damage was that?
10 force damage.
He definitely, rang his bell a little bit, but he's still standing and looks ready to rock. And now, it is his turn.
He's not gonna turn.
What? How much was the Spirit Guardian damage this round?
Let me tell you. Oh, really good. That is 20 flat.
20 flat. Go figure. He is still standing, but he is, the armor is glowing. He will take one swipe at you and one at Apollinaire.
Good.
He definitely misses the fuck out of you.
15 is the number to hit or beat.
You take 12 points of slashing damage. Apollinaire, as he misses Roderick, but then continues around, striking you in the midsection.
Cuts. No blood leaks out as that eats only into temp HP. Hee hee ho ho.
That kind of static feeling in the back of your head continues to rise, to skyrocket, to almost overwhelm your senses, Roderick. And all of your attention is drawn to the now very ruined carcass of Siron. You can feel almost as much as see reverberations coming off of him. And even as his flesh is being pulled off by the fiend, he begins to stand, his throat missing. Muscle and flesh showing all along his back where he was being clawed and slashed and burned and shot. An arrow protruding from his ribcage, definitely perforating a lung, Seraphina. And he is looking at you all with the utmost glee. And you see tendrils of black, tentacles almost, wriggling out from underneath his jaw, which is not there anymore. From his wounds, his flesh begins to bubble. And over the next few seconds, the crunching of bones, and the tearing of flesh, his blood pouring out onto the floor as his own body is rent from within. You stand facing this creature instead.
Ah, sweet Jesus!
But do he take spiritual guardian damage though?
And as a creature of monstrous proportion grows in place, the flesh craggy and blackened with a sickly green glowing from deep within, a horrid twisted face, detestable wings, and way too many arms, each ending in a jagged hooked claw. And it gives you the most human smile in a way you can't even describe. And it chuckles and vanishes from sight. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
What?
But that booming
Absolutely
blood
not.
damage though.
Absolutely not.
Was it a spell? Did it disappear using a spell?
Thank you all for joining us for one of the last episodes of Blood and Silver here on Hard Knock Dice. We are at the boss fight, as it were, the climax, the conclusion.
Oh my.
And all bets are off as they have stormed the Citadel and found it mostly unoccupied. So thank you for being here with us as we start this last journey. Hopefully not the last journey for their characters, just the last for this campaign. But we'll find out. Next week, at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but before that, you'll catch us on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our lovely production crew, aka Jonesy DMing, and several of us playing. So stop on by. As always, be sure and check out the Extra Life charity. We are partnered with them to raise money for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So donate a little money or a whole lot, whether it's a little or a lot, is still going to make a difference because teamwork makes the dream work, and that dream is all the more important when it's saving kids. Four adventures or like 20,000 people donating money. 20,000, definitely better. We're going to be rating The Legends of Adventress. You misspelled that horribly, but that's who we're going to go see and hang out with. They're pretty cool, not as cool as us, but pretty fucking awesome. So stick around, see them. Catch you guys soon enough. Have a good one.
Bye.
That boy can't read. He said, "Aye,
Goodness.
aye, aye."
Facebook.